think it's good, people. What say ye as I'm clicking the button here to let my team know that we just started the show? I know a number of them are monitoring, but this will let a lot of people know right off the break that showtime has started. Welcome to Game Therapy, friends. My name is Brian, or BC, or whatever you'd like to call me. A lot of people, my dad used to call me B. So if you'd like to go with that, that's cool with me too. Got a wonderful show planned for you all tonight. Most of the show is improvisational absurdity designed to make you laugh so we can get you in bed, get you to sleep, and get you up killing again tomorrow. But I do have some topics I want to discuss as always. The floor will be open to all of you that come to the show, whether you're watching this after the fact or you're watching and laughing with us live, asking questions. I've gotten questions about how do I price a product that I want to sell on Etsy, all the way to questions about how do I deal with overly narcissistic people in my life who I feel are pulling me down. So all questions are welcome. Anything you want to talk about on any of the shows I do, unless I say otherwise, which is, I think, never. Your topics and your questions do not need to be related to the narcissism and absurdity that I am spewing out. You can ask anything that you like, and you're welcome to do it regardless of the topic. We will get to the topic at hand. I want to remind everybody that we do have a book club as a part of this wonderful community here, and this week's book of the week is The Art of War by Sun Tzu. Definitely encourage everybody to give that a read. In fact, on screen right now you can see the text number for my book club, right? And in that book club we're going to be covering books like this every week, and for the people who we're actually tying a wisdom challenge to it that we're starting here in the new year. And then starting in the new year, we'll start the Wisdom Challenge, and then we'll be reading a book a week as a community, talking about the books, and then there will be prizes for people who get through the challenge, and who, you know, people on our team feel like read the books, read all of the books, and then provided the most valuable feedback to the community on the books they were reading. And it'll all be subjective. None of it will be mathematical. It'll be, this is the one we thought was great. And it's really just in the spirit of fun. The benefit of the program, is one of my teammates really pointed out to me well today. The real benefit of this program is that you're going to get knowledge. You're going to get not only introduced to knowledge that you probably otherwise wouldn't be encouraged to read, but then you're going to have a group of people holding you accountable and encouraging you to get through the information in a fun way. So I can't recommend enough you jumping on the book list by texting books to 833-576-2460. Yes, it's free unless you pay for your text, and then standard texting rates apply. But there's nothing else associated with this program. This book list is literally every Tuesday. You'll get a text message from me that says, here's the book we're reading, and here's why I'm recommending it, based upon whatever benefit the book gave to my life or to other people's lives that I've witnessed, or maybe I've used books to train other and help and educate other people, and I've seen it benefit their lives, right? So that you can understand the reasoning behind why we're recommending each of the books. So, back at it, Game Therapy with our friend Xuan-Yuan. A game that I've very much been looking forward to play for quite some
这儿
time.
等我，我去看看。
And believe me, I hate spam as much as you do, so that text list is not going to be used to hit you up with really anything more than those
老赵，
books, unless I have an
你们在看什么
announcement
呀？
that's relevant to it.
几位大
Let's
人
go
来
in.
贴了榜文。啊？有看到通缉要犯吗？拿下他！
Oh yeah, let's get this
放下
going.
武器，束手就擒！
休想！
拒不得动！
Switch. Yeah, get some, little homie. So his little not sister kicks ass too. Wait, were these demons? Why are they disappearing? Oops, wrong button. Gotta get used to the control scheme.
反贼太师昭，
Also waiting for the air
子
conditioning
胥
to kick on in here.
长安李氏
It's
被
hot.
李军发现了，是因为天书的关系吗？
阿兄使用天书之力救我，才被他们盯上了吗？是我连累了阿兄，而且我一点忙都帮不上， 刚刚也是。
没事的，香儿，不用太勉强自己。阿修会保护你的。哎呀，这也算不上什么事儿。你看，文书和博生也被通缉了。
壮士
啊，
壮士是绿林军的豪杰吗？小人郑佐，偏为此地理政，仰慕绿林军的英雄豪杰已久。
我不是绿林军。
一样一样。我等饱受朝廷官吏欺压，苦不堪言。见到壮士刚刚出手，真是大快人心呐！
我也只是为了自保而已。
此地不宜谈话，壮士不妨进屋一叙。
也好，我也有些事情想要请教。
请。
请。
That shit was smooth. The mayor came out like, "Hey, bro, come on in the crib. Let's rap a little bit. I like the way you kick ass." That right there is every adventure I want to go on. I come to a town, some bad people show up, but I know how to fight. I beat the shit out of the bad people, and then the mayor's like, "My man, why don't you slide on in the house? I like the way you kick ass." Like, you know something dope's getting ready to happen in that house. You know, as soon as we walk in there, the mayor's gonna be like, "Hey, bro, I'm about to show you the secrets of Neverland." Oh, it's wonderful, man. And no, not Michael Jackson's theme park. Like Peter Pan. Never mind. All right, Tag Gaming says, "Good evening, B." We're going to take some comments and get right back to the game. Good evening, B. And then so for newcomers, when I put the glasses on, that's when I become the elitist prick that is the character on this show. So now it is time for me to play games and complain about everything that I don't like and shit all over everybody who disagrees with me. That is the point of this show. Although I will say, glasses off, we don't do it to hurt anybody. This is all meant to be in good fun, and I mostly spend most of the time making fun of myself. So if I make fun of you, don't feel bad. I make fun of everybody I love, myself included. All right. Good evening, B. How are you this week, my man? I'm okay. Today, I'm a little late getting to the show tonight. I have not felt the best starting this afternoon, but I know why that is. It's my sleep pattern was a little bit disturbed today. I had my schedule thrown off a little bit. But other than that, like other than physically being a bit fatigued, especially after yesterday's workout, which I went back full on body armor, weighted bands, or resistance bands, etc. I went back into my more hardcore workouts after having to take some time off thanks to my back and neck injury from the army getting worse to the point where I couldn't even sit down. Like, there was that time I spent in San Diego, I wouldn't have been able to do streams with you guys because I couldn't sit in a chair like this for any extended period of time without losing my mind. Like the wedding I went to, which I had a ball at, I had to keep leaving just to get up and walk around because sitting down hurt. So, other than that, man, we're doing great. Stacy says, "It's all in your head." Yep. And so tonight's topic, those aren't voices in your head, that's actually a direct quote from my therapist today. We were having a discussion about not just limiting beliefs, but the algorithms that I call them the algorithms or the programs that run in our subconscious brain that are placed there by life experience, authority figures, you know, things we believe in, things we've seen. And a lot of those algorithms need updating, right? And I've been working really hard over the last year to study myself, right? You guys know some of the experiments I've run on myself with my doctor to see what happens and things like that and how I react to it. But the point there being, we talked about some of these voices that all of us hear regularly in our head. She had a very interesting thing to say about it when I talked about how mine work. And the thing she said really helped me dig deeper into cracking the code to remove the bad algorithms and replace them with better ones. So we'll get into that discussion as we go through the show. And I'm taking turns being the absurd, elitist prick and being the empathetic guy who actually wants to help. We'll figure it out. Tag says, "How are you? Man, you're sick and tired of phones and their crappy keyboard and autocorrect." Yeah, me too. As am I, sir. Discord notified. Thank you, Jolly. Faithful as always, brother. I appreciate you. I appreciate you more than you realize, dude. Please know that. Hunter says, "Someone call for a narcissist." Ta-da. Hey, welcome. You're in the right place. Welcome to the crew. You know, last night's show was titled "You're Not Selfish Enough," and I never really got into the discussion, but it was, most of you need some damn narcissism. Like, narcissism is seen as this evil thing because a bunch of people read Psychology Today and read about it for 8 seconds and decided, oh, that's narcissism's evil, let's kill all the narcissists, not realizing we all have narcissism. It is a survival personality modality that we operate in to do self-preservation. It's necessary for survival. It's when that survival mechanism is overactive, it becomes detrimental not only to the people around the human, but also to themselves in ways that they don't understand, which is why they continue to behave narcissistically. However, many of you grew up in a more modern American society where all of this false, fake humility, horse shit has been perpetuated by schools, television, and churches. And it's just not real. Nobody that's super successful and happy is unselfish. Now, understand, being selfish and being unselfish are also not mutually exclusive. In order for me to be wildly unselfish with all of you, I've got to be selfish in the times that I need to be to take care of myself so that I'm in a good place to help y'all, or to at least be present with y'all to give you a laugh. I got to be in a good place to do this stuff effectively. Even though on the show I pretend very much not to be in a good place. I actually am, which is why I'm able to pull off that character. It's because if I wasn't, this would be a very sad show if I really was this angry about cutscenes. Like, God, this guy's really angry about shit that doesn't matter at all. So yeah, a lot of you aren't selfish enough. You could use some narcissism. Good evening, chat family. Hi all. Fun book reports. Press X for doubt. Spoken like an army guy. Pocket Thought says, look at all the people here. Oh, we're just getting started, Pocket. This is just the warm-up. We're at about 10% at least of the, maybe a little bit less than 10% depending on how many people actually show up tonight. We're at about 10% of the audience of what it will become by the end of the show. So hang in there. It's going to get better, lady. Pocket Thought says, I'm absolutely fantastic and dreadful at the same time. How's that for a mood? I'd say that describes most of humanity. I mean, it's most of life, man. Yin and yang. It's good. Life is good and terrible, right? Jolly says, it's going to be a good chat tonight. I can feel the love in here. Good. It's all coming from a place of love. Or at least we try. Hey, Tag got out of his consecutive days of debilitating pain. That's awesome. Well done, dude. I know you've been working hard to make that work, so pat yourself on the back. The man-child has "We Were Soldiers" on. Oh, Jesus. Woo! You know, I still haven't seen that. That all of that stuff, like Saving Private Ryan, all came out when I was incapable of watching war movies because I was thrust in the middle of training and fighting the real shit, and I couldn't watch war movies. I was like, I don't need to see the hell I'm walking into. I really don't want to see this shit. But then years after I got out of the military, I started watching that stuff. I have still not seen We Are Soldiers, which is interesting because it's about my dad's unit in Vietnam. I should probably check it out. Should probably give it a look. All right, comments complete. Let's get back into this game therapy, baby. Oh, look at you. I forgot the dude's name in this game. It's not Xuan-Yuan. That's the name of the game. Or Xuan-Yuan Sword VII is the full name of the game. And I'm really happy to be showcasing it because it's certainly imperfect. It's certainly not a high-budget game. But it's one of those games that'll always fly under the radar because it won't get the marketing. They probably don't have the advertising dollars to throw at it that other independent and even AAA and AA producers probably have. And maybe they do. I may be speaking out of school. But games like this always kind of fly under the radar, and they're usually not bad games. They're usually not Death Stranding, Nier Automata good, but they're usually good for what they are. So，
方才听壮士谈到刘家二位将军，您真不是绿林军的豪杰。
虽与他们有过数面之缘，但我不是。
那壮士可曾听说，绿林军是否会往商气这边过来？
商气
不清楚。不过我听说，接下来绿林军或许会往宛城去。
我等受朝廷管理欺压已久，一直期待绿林军能来收复此地。可惜呀，壮士刚刚说有事情要问。
郑老丈可知商山在何处？
往西边出了村子，河对面那座大山，便是商山了。
要怎么过河？
沿着河往上游走，有一处渡口可以过河。
其他地方都听闻妖魔频生之事，商气这儿感觉倒是平安。
是有位绿衣女子来过村子，提醒咱们不要贸然上山。也多亏了她，没听说过有村人受妖魔袭击。
哦，绿衣女子。
是，背着一把金色大剑。我本也想向她致谢，哪知隔日，她便不见踪影了。
你说商气这儿受朝廷官吏欺压已久，怎么回事？
唉，还能是什么事？官差们横征暴敛，不服的全都押走，再没回来的。不止咱们这儿，南阳一带，没给绿林军收走的地方，都是这样。
多谢款待，告辞了。
壮士这就要离开了。
去商山。
小人有一事告
喂，
知，
我是韩。
且听小人一言。壮士是否见过一种精怪，名唤先知？平时埋在土里，与寻常植物无异。若是太过靠近，便会受其攻击。
略有耳闻。
一般人不知道，但我们商气这儿祖传一种秘制调香，采百年先知云盖，调和蕙草与其他7种香草，制成弱菌香。
便是这炉熏香吗？
正是。
这又与我何干？
不急，且听小人娓娓道来。这弱菌香不单单是气味雅致芬芳，品质还可以消忧解愁、活络气血、延年益寿。只可惜百年先知不能常得。
郑老丈是想托我狩猎先知？
并非如此。壮士的身手了得，小人是真心钦佩。但壮士杀了几名官差，就这么一走了之。若是绿林军打算接管商气，那倒也不坏。但又偏不是。如今几名官差死在此处，朝廷问罪下来，小人该如何回答？恐怕现在只会问小人村里借几颗人头充数。弱菌香，香则香矣，但药性霸道。品香前必须服下佐药，否则不到半盏茶，便会手足酸麻，浑身脱力。
I knew he was setting brothers up. I knew it.
壮士，小人不晓得你与李军有何过节，但杀人偿命的道理是不会错的。你既杀人，便要有被杀的准备。借你人头，保我商气百姓周全。
香儿，
阿兄，
I knew he too sexual in the way he talked. It was like he was trying to seduce somebody. Like, why are you talking all sexy to me? Get ass out of here.
我只是想打晕他的，他要杀你，我没有办法，我杀人了。
没事，谢谢你，小儿。他既要杀害无辜，反倒被杀了，也怨不得谁。
虽然被阿兄安慰了，却没什么感觉呢。
Ooh, who wrote that line?
我还不太适
No, there ain't
应
no wooden
生活
body
身
lady.
体。
That's yeesh.
你再忍耐一下，等我们放出那位大王，就没问题了。
Yeah, hell, my instructors were trying to get me to read the book back when I was a cadet. And which plays very nicely into your next question, Jay. You asked unrelated question, did you always have a passion for reading? And the answer is absolutely not. I still don't. I'll explain that in a second. Or did you grow in I grew in discipline myself, and here's why. I've always hated reading. I found out later that that's partially because of brain issues that I have that are now exacerbated with PTSD, but more specifically, the ADD and dyslexia, right? So with dyslexia, like I was talking to Ryan last night, he had sent me a comic book that we joked about on the show, but the truth of it was I couldn't read it because dyslexia was fucking me up. I didn't know how to read the panels because they tried to make the comic book, the order of the comics, look artsy, and that made my brain not know which one to read first. And like even when I would try to read like one-page comics, I'd always read right to left like a manga, because my brain's backwards. So no, I had and still don't really have a passion for reading. That's why I can't read fiction. It's part of the reason why, you know, I joke on this show a lot and I shit all over these writers writing these cutscenes because they're boring. And that's partially, I'm not lying when I'm saying those jokes. I do think the cutscenes are often very boring. And I obviously don't want the designers to die in a fire. I want them to live a happy and prosperous life. But one of the reasons I struggle with these cutscenes is that it, like, trying to get me to digest a story by talking it to me, it's like you might as well be talking to a wall. Books are the same way. Unless I found the trick with me is I can read nonfiction because even though I hate to read and I struggle to process information that way, I do love to treasure hunt. And nonfiction books, if you read the right ones, kind of like with this book challenge that I started, part of the reason for the book challenge is I know how hard it is to read fucking books. And if I don't have an extrinsic motivator, if my extrinsic motivator is my own pain, so I guess you could say that's intrinsic. But if I didn't have something pushing me, I probably wouldn't have gotten to reading those books because I struggle with it so much. So I learned how to read like a treasure hunter. In a nonfiction book, I can just find the points that help me and I can move on if the book is boring or if the author is storytelling. I don't need to read that shit. I just need to know, like The Power of Habit, the book I teach a lot of my Spartans how to break habits with. It's one page in that book's all you need to know. You can read the whole book and the pontification and the processes through which he, devoted to the scientific study of habit building. Yes, you could do that. And yes, that you would be more informed. If you want to break a habit, you could just read that one page and start doing it. And the reason why the book is 200 pages long is because the guy wanted to sell a book where he only knew he had one thing he wanted to teach, but to get us to buy books that are $15, you got to make us feel like we're getting value. Same thing with these games. They make them 40 hours long because we suck, not because they want to make a 40-hour game. So no, I still don't have a lot of passion for reading. I just have a passion for being successful, and the way I define success is my family is taken care of in ways that allow me to position them for whatever their definition of success is. So my success is found in all of you and in my family. If you guys are winning, I get to win. So I that's the way I said it again. So that's why I'm so fired up about reading. Hell no. I like literally in high school, I used to get away with reading Star Wars for my book reports. My teachers would let me do it because the book was so old. But my teachers also thought I was too young to get Star Wars. I had watched all the movies so many times, I had the scripts memorized. I could literally recite at one point in my younger days when I used to watch those movies more frequently. I could recite the entire script of Empire Strikes Back to you word for word. And so that's how I got away with it. I still can't read fiction. People are like, B, you need to read. Fuck it, it's never happened. My brain will melt if you sit here and make me, because I'll get, it's just, I'd rather live the adventure than listen to you fucking talk about it. I think it's the athlete in me, maybe. I don't know. I hate watching football. Not so much now because I'm old, but when I was young, I hated watching football. I don't want to watch sports. Let's go outside and play these bitches.
总算我们是问到姗姗的路了。
But great question, man.
希望那
Wanted
些
to give
墨
you a
者
little
不要
additional
太难缠
context。there that I thought, a little story time from my life that may help drive the point home. I
我们走
hope
吧。
that was okay with you. Oh, well, so typically I would not just, hey, reveal, here's the thing that I want you to get out of this book, because I want the author to succeed. He did take the time to write the book. So I do tell my folks, you know, throw the guy a bone if you
前
get
面
something
就是
good out
上
of
山了
the
呀
book.。You know, like I still buy books because authors
我们往
have
上游走
taught me a lot of
找找那
stuff.
个
Like
渡
a
口
lot of my mentors are just people I read in books. Like no bull.
前头或许
Two
还有
of
妖
my
魔。
advisors
先外
in
人要
my
小心
life,
了。
people that I have reached out to and touched someone. And I don't want to name drop, but like literally, I read their books, then I reached out to them, and they reached out back, and they're, you know, one of them is kind of more of an acquaintance than an advisor. I don't really hit him up a lot, but needless to say, he's written. I've recommended at least 5 of his books 1,000 times to all of you, and then the other author would be who's the other one? The other author wrote some of the stuff I've learned about the science of killing and what it takes to condition a human being to be able to kill, and why what's done to soldiers is so important to understand it so that we can recover from it after we've gone through that conditioning. So one of the keys to unlocking PTSD is first understanding what was done to you to make the PTSD possible, because it wasn't just seeing horrible shit on the battlefield. That was the catalyst. But there was a setup before the catalyst that's part of your conditioning. And they're finding, or at least they think they're finding now, I've taken some classes from Dr. Peterson and others, where they seem to think that there's certain traits you can measure in a person, and I have them, so I can attest what Dr. Peterson says is anecdotally absolutely 100% true in my life. Can't say it across the world, but he says there are certain personality dispositions that are wired to have chronic, complex PTSD. This guy has that personality in spades. It's one of my greatest lovable characteristics and one of my Achilles heels. So, yeah. But yeah, like some of my mentors are just guys I read their books and I hit them up like, hey, yo, can I reach out to you if I need? Because the author of the book, I'll tell it, Colonel David Grossman. I'll tell you guys him. Look him up. I hit him up after I read his books, like, sir, I cried reading your books because now I understand what's wrong with me. And can I call on you? I'm helping a lot of veterans out here that are going, it's tough sledding out here for us, sir, because we're going through the same shit the World War I generation went through, where, you know, my dad's generation came home to getting spit on, but 3 generations before him, war-wise, not millennials and bullshit generations, but 3 war generations before him, everybody came home to indifference.
我们也不是。
Yeah, we get it. Nobody agreed with. Most of us didn't agree with these wars, but they were fought, and we need to talk about it, not just sweep it under the rug, right?
你是从妖魔手中保护了阿修。
So a lot of our vets, and as predicted, like right on cue, I started saying 10 or 15 years ago, if you think all this veteran stuff that's going on with suicide is bad now, wait until the wars are over. That's when you're going to have real problems. And I can show you throughout history where warriors have had those problems, going all the way back to the Bible with David, Potiphar, and his wife. Same scenario, right? Like, now that we have the tools to understand what a lot of this stuff is and the conditioning that goes into us having these issues, we can unlock it. We now have the key to unlock it, and that's honestly what I don't really advertise a lot, but that's what I help a lot of people through, is the shit that's done to your brain. Hey, are we killing or are we talking? I guess we killing. I just like how simple this game is. There's really not a whole lot. Oh, easy, baby. Easy, Jesus. Oh, Jolly, one of the things I always forget to say to you, because I always forget things because I have 411 teen children, which means if you don't have children, here's what I can guarantee happens to you. You will have regular short-term amnesia about everything forever. it's like people were joking about me smoking crack last night. I don't know what crack does to your memory, but if it fucks it up, kids is like crack. I've never done crack, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it. But Jolly, start looking at our shows for clips that we can do for YouTube, Vice, TikTok, and those clips can be longer. Because the TikTok ones we've tried to keep from 9 seconds to about a minute for the clips there, because anything gaming related ain't getting much more than about 10 seconds out of a really distracted person. I've also created a separate account specifically on TikTok for game therapy where we can experiment with stuff. I'll give you access to that account so you can go nuts with the clips. But start thinking through, just in your opinion, because I want you to use your eye and your expertise. What are the clips we should be putting up on YouTube specifically? Not just so shorts and actual clips that are anywhere from 1 to, I'd say, 5 minutes should be the longest if it's a really, really good story or discussion, right? So we need YouTube shorts, which can only be up to 15 seconds. I've done a couple of those that have done well, interestingly enough. One of my silliest YouTube shorts is the one, of course, that's doing the most views, because that's how viewership works. The one I take the least seriously gets the most love. Anyway, something I wanted to run by you. Let's continue conversations about how we make that joint work, so that more people can see what we're up to, and it can be more reliant on YouTube's evergreen nature of the content that we're making in concert with their algorithm, and just knowing, more importantly than algorithms, I always teach my media people, don't worry about algorithms, worry about human tendencies, because the algorithms are meant to adapt to human tendencies. If you understand the human, you don't need to fuck with the algorithm, right? Like, I know for a fact, I don't need an algorithm to tell me that it is a good idea, and I was smart to set up the templates for the shows that I'm going to do on Amazon Prime if these things start to take off the way I think they will, and funding shows up, there's things that will come. There's natural things. If you understand human tendencies and you understand your people and the ones you're talking to, it's natural to see why Amazon Prime makes a ton of sense versus a YouTube or a TikTok or an Instagram. Like Amazon Prime, like I wouldn't do this show necessarily on Amazon Prime, but there are shows that, and not even shows that I'm producing, but shows that I'm advising other people on how to produce. So I'm like, dude, we need to get on Amazon Prime ASAP. Like, I've already got all the stuff set up for my shows to start running them once we start recording and whatnot. But patience. It's not a priority right now. I've got some other business and life priorities that are taking the front seat. And so game therapy's kind of running the ball until I can focus on it, right? Just running out the clock till I can focus on it. All right. But yeah, I wanted to run that by you, Jolly, and I kept forgetting to ask. So here we are. So yeah, these games are very much to me like Spiders games, except maybe prettier, because I haven't played Spiders games, or the one I played recently was so annoying I didn't stick with that Greedfall game. Here's the parry system that we made to annoy you, Brian.
这条路半途就不通了，怎样都过不去的。要是打算上山，我知道其他路。
你是何人？
我不是何人，我是何浩。在下是行走天涯的浪子，人称万里风何浩。哪儿有财宝，我就往哪儿去。待在商山已经几年了，都在这儿捡财宝。
这儿有财宝可捡？
这你就有所不知了。 青铜和木材都是宝贝，用青铜和木材做成的宝贝更是宝贝中的宝贝。
The only thing I wish is I had a PlayStation 5 so I could showcase this game. Like you can clearly see this PlayStation 4 is struggling to run this game.
玉水有个货郎，
You
专
can
收
see
这些
it
奇
in
珍
the
异宝，
frame rate,
每
the
次回去
animations
都
dropping
能赚得
like
盆满钵满。
this PlayStation 4 is giving everything it has to run this game.
哦，你也认识夏老丈？ 那咱们也可以算是半个熟人了。不如，咱们合作一把。
Yeah, we should.
我听闻商山住了一群墨者，
Is his name Heho?
他们会
What's
让
his
你
name?
捡。
Your name
你该
has
不
to
会
be
是做无
Heho.
本生意的
Did
吧？
I read that right? It flashed.
别！
Oh, he
兄
how?
台这
All
话说
right.
的多难听，
Or hey how? How do you say that?
拿取无
Somebody that
主
knows
之物，
Chinese,
怎能
hook
算
me
是
up.
偷呢？
I want to get these pronunciations right,
无
damn
主
it.
之物，
I want to be respectful to my
是啊，山上有一座
brothers,
寨
sisters,
子，
and others
里
from
头不
across
知
the
荒废
pond.
多少年了。
But if his name
出没。
is Heho, that's my favorite person that's ever lived. I pray that Heho is exactly how Chinese
你
people
到底想
pronounce
做什
that.
么？
Because
我来给
I'm
二位
naming the
提
rest
醒
of
了呀。
all my grandkids from now on. When I start advising my children when they get married, you're naming your kids Heho.
我知道另外一条路，不
Just
过
listen to me.
这次上山，山
Heho
里
is
头的妖魔
everybody's
都不太
favorite
安分。
character in the story.
我偷偷跟了一路，发现二位
Gotta
身
have
手不
Heho,
凡，
baby.
对付
You
那
ain't
些
got
妖
Heho,
魔，
you
想
ain't
必是
living.
易如反掌。不如我们结伴上山，一起发财，如何？
唉，也好，结伴而行也有个照应。有劳了。
哎，别这么客气了，兄台叫我何号便行。倒是二位，
太史子旭，这是舍妹。
好的，子旭和太师小妹随我来。
Ooh, Jay, I got a thing for you, homie. Stand by with the ADHD comment. I have done this
阿兄，
physically.
他说上山大寨是
Yes.
必须了。
I will teach you the tricks. I'm about to teach you a
我们
$10,000
先上去
trick.
谈谈情况，就算人走了，也会留点蛛丝马迹。也许何浩骗人也说不定，稍微防着点。
So,
子旭，
Jay
太师
Card.
小妹，
Wait, do I have to fight or?
这
Okay,
边
no.
这边。
I got time to read. So Jay Cardoso says, so I think I have a type of ADD. I need to physically do something in order to read a book, like walking up and down. Yeah. I get it. I don't know the science behind how that's an ADHD thing or not. Irrelevant. I know the sentiment that you're talking about. So, two things I'd recommend you to do. Audiobooks while doing PT. Now, you're going to retain 30% of the information instead of 50 because your brain is distracted. But we will all agree that 30% of retained information is better than zero. I do that all the time. In fact, Alyssa, one of my team members here, gave me a book to read about true masculinity and how men, need to be men in society. A lot of this, the world is becoming more feminine. That's cool. Like, we need to be balanced. I think men need to be in touch with their feminine side 100%, but we don't need to counterbalance this thing where we make everything so feminine that masculinity, the good sides of masculinity, then are eroded away and not useful. So she gave me a great book to read on those things. And the books actually were dealing in some cases with women who were having trouble with men specifically because they weren't being masculine, not because the world's not feminine enough. I listened to that book while I was doing PT over, I think it took me 2 or 3 workouts to get through it. It is fantastic. Another thing that helps me, especially with more tedious reads, so a couple of nights ago after a show, if you're extroverted like me, interacting and being on like this, like improvising and doing shows, it gives you more energy. It does not make you tired. Like, I get physically exhausted, but mentally my brain is going 1,000 miles an hour oftentimes when I get off this show, so I can't sleep right away. So a couple nights ago I couldn't sleep at all, so I just came in here and did 8 hours of market research on what's going on television, what's going on in social media, how are those things connected, how are they cross-pollinating, how does the OTT platforms play into that. When I say OTT or over the top, we're talking about Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Video, Amazon Prime Video, etc. So how are all these things connected? What is everybody's current viewing habits, current, and what do we think is going to happen post-pandemic, so that I can make sure we're positioning everything we're producing and everything, more importantly, to people who I advise to do things in media. Because all of this right now is just a passion project that if this is all it becomes, I'm happy with it. But the other people who are producing, like, nationally listened to podcasts and other people that I help, I got to know this shit. But a lot of that information is tedious and unfun to read. I'll tell you exactly what I did. I created a physical activity to do, and now, yes, I was task switching, so it's technically multitasking, which makes me less efficient, but it allows me to focus, for a set period of time and I'm timed, and then I can do the focus thing over here. And so what I do is I'm doing a fun activity over here, and I'll tell you what the activity was in a second, and I'm doing the tedious thing over here. And so what I give myself is do tedious thing for X amount of time, then you can do one of the fun activities. What was the fun activity? Creating my team in Madden that you guys now watch on the show. I just moving the bars and naming the names and picking the pads. Don't ask me why that's fun to me. That shit is fun. It's also very, very time consuming. So I would read, study, take notes, and then I'd make my dad in Madden. And then I'd put that down, go back to reading. And so knowing that I was going to get a reward if I kept reading, kept my brain in the game. Whoop. So anyway, those are 2 things you can do to kick ass, man. Hopefully that helps you.
那边路不通，得走这儿才行。
Yeah, kick ass.
何兄，你对此地如此熟悉，难道是隐墨者？
别拉了，别那么厉害，来过几次，跟我回去吧。
This combat system is fast, boy, once it gets going. Right. It's kind of like a more advanced Arcania. If you guys have been watching me play Arcania, this definitely takes a little bit of, maybe not inspiration, but there's some similarities here to the rhythm of it. Where it's like, all right, magic, bam, all right, now, get in there with the fisticuffs while he's stunned. Back up, retreat, arrows, 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 magic, freeze him again. Like there's a rhythm to it that gets really, really fun to play, and I see some of the trappings of that here. It's like why when Arcania gets hated on, it's like, are you hating on the game part? The part we play, or are you mad that the fucking lore wasn't awesome? Fucking nerds. Like, it's a game. Go read Gothic the fucking book if you need stories. Let us have our games, damn it. Hey, what's this here? What's this here, ho? What do I do with this? This is clearly a thing, man. Do the do. What am I doing it wrong, ho? Yeah, I'm doing it wrong, ho. There you go. Oh, no, that was a potion, ho. This ain't no potion. It's a frog. Oh, I'm supposed to kill it. Yeah, frog. Fuck that frog. I like chicken. Old racist ass frog. That's one of the funniest sketches I've ever seen in my life. The racist ass frog. I showed that to my dad, and I think that might have been what killed him. I think that might have been the night that set up the stroke. Because he fell off the chair crying. He's like, what the fuck is this? I said, this is Dave Chappelle, Dad. This is what Richard Pryor gave birth to. He's like, damn, that shit is funny. I said, I know, Dad. Sorry I killed you with laughter, man. We'll see you on the other side. And joke about his father's death in the books. Is that the most horrible thing I've said yet? Have we found that? Yeah, no. Don't get it twisted. Don't twist my words. I've said it a million times. I don't hate inventory management. I hate games where the game becomes inventory management the game because it's a stupid ass dopamine addiction looter shooter. Twisting up my words. Have these people think I'm crazy. Comment section. Let's use this other stance on his ass. You want this other stance, ho? You ain't hitting nobody with that. Get your ass up out of here. All this ass I'm kicking all night. Y'all don't want to see Xuan-Yuan up in this mother... I'll kill you. You don't know me. You know how many hookers I choked just this week as the pimp of the year? You don't become pimp of the year by not choking hookers. Especially when you pimp men. You gotta show them. Oh, my alter ego is also a downtrodden pimp from Detroit named Willie the Pimp. I may have taken that from a James Earl Jones movie, or not. And he pimps men. So you can see why he's down on his luck. That's a hard service to provide. Pun intended. And see, that story I just told you right there, to me, is more interesting than 99% of the video game stories I've ever seen. Because nobody's talking about downtrodden pimps from Detroit. I feel like that's an underserved demographic. You know, I read Iceberg Slim. I was made to read Iceberg Slim by a mentor. When I told him that I wanted to be a player, I wanted to be like these dudes I saw running around and had all the ladies. He's like, read Iceberg Slim. And I said, never fucking mind. Got it. One woman man it is. Which jives with my personality anyway. I was a young man at the time and didn't know that I'm more wired just to be a one lady dude. Here we go. Oh, that's wrong. Was I? Come on, man. Was I that shit, man? Like they do in the Kung Fu movies. Shit. Trying to get the thing going so I can look cool. Oh, hell no. I look like Yasser Arafat. Fuck that. Let's get that shit out of here. Not that it's wrong to look like Yasser Arafat, but... Hey, I got a new fast travel point from all my Shang-Chi places up in here. Oh, yeah, Jesus. And so that's really cool. You can backtrack to these other places that you've been to. Wait, I don't have a fast travel joint. Oh, I didn't activate the fast travel joint in Shang-Chi, I think is how you say that. And forgive me, my Chinese brothers and sisters and others. If I am butchering your language, it's because of ignorance. I'm actually not trying to be funny. I'm trying to say it properly. I will learn it. Somebody teach it to me or I'll go look it up. And I've always been a stickler for that, man. Trying to pronounce people's shit right. Like, that's like the lowest form of respect you can show a person. Like, just try to pronounce my man's name right. Hey, Byron, how you doing, bud? I'm great. And I'm not like a stickler for people fucking my name up. It's fine, but it shows you don't try real hard. Like, it's more a reflection on you than my emotions. All right, we resting? We getting black?
方才真是精彩的一战，
Stay black,
二位这等身手，果真不错。
哪里，我也从没看过何兄这样的人物，逃得如此之快，真是前所未见。
哎，我何浩之所以人称万里风，就是因为逃得飞快，完全没给谁逮到过。只是这阵子妖魔实在是多到无从躲避呀。
逃跑就是逃跑，哪来这么多大道理？
太师小妹，这你就有所不知了。说到逃跑这事儿，也是很看时机、看场合的。
何兄，你也帮点忙嘛，怎么都只找地方躲着？
没把握嘛，自然要学着避免危险，丢了小命可不行。
You know what? I should have been listening to them talk. I usually tune out during the cutscenes because I can't. But I should have been listening because they're going to say the guy's name. And if it's He-Ho, shit. If this game wins, this game of the year. If that dude's name is He-Ho, that's game of the year. 2000, what's this, 21? Right here. Even though this came out in 2020 or 19, I think. It just came to the States now.
你待在这儿这么久，知道大寨怎么毁吗？
I like the little hidden things in the world that you can find, like that little frog.
是吗？那妖魔变得如此躁动，又是从何时开始的呢？
应该也是最近的事儿，上回还没有。
Oh, we crawling through the. Where did I get a lantern from? What's on fire? Am I shoot? Oh, is this another one of them puzzle-ass dungeons? You know what the best part of a puzzle dungeon is? You know what they did for me, guys? What? If you weren't on the last stream, watch what they did. If this is a puzzle dungeon.
壮观吧？哎呀，可惜全都被人毁了，也不晓得是什么深仇大恨。这儿以前肯定是个了不得的地方。嘿嘿，如何？ 你们要进去绕绕吗？跟我来，一起发财吧！哎，怪了，怎么又给锁上了？哎，莫不是上次那个绿衣美人儿？
咱们是来找墨者的，不是找财宝的。要是看到简牍护国之类的东西，多留一些。
好，
嘿嘿，子轩，一起来吧！
Peace! No! Not hee-ho! Come on, bruh! Oh, you got to die now. Shit. That's killing time. And they let him die by like a pawn. You know, kill my friend hoe. Ow, you a hoe. Come here. Oh no, that's my homegirl. Sorry. Alright, switch up. Switch to the wolf. Switch to the wolf and kick ass all damn night in that ass. That's me. All in there. See it? You see my blade hoe? All in your ass. Look at your stomach. I'm behind you. Now look at your stomach. All in your ass. Put that sword. I take that sword and shove it in that. You're not gonna mess with my friend.
阿兄，
Uh-oh, I'm supposed to be playing the game, not acting crazy on camera.
还挡得住。
At least they're making the quick time events easy. Not having to work hard at this. So they give you plenty of time to do the quick time events. Like, hallelujah. I hate them, but at least this game makes them less annoying. It's like everything in this game that's annoying from other games, they give you a solution to make it less annoying. Yeah, is that Hee-Ho resurrecting? Y'all couldn't do that before they killed Hee-Ho? Hee-Ho? Gotta learn how to say that name.
阿兄，何浩他
不行，已经断气了。唉，节哀。
We just met him, I mean.
承蒙姑娘出手救我兄妹2人，在下聂阳太史昭，字子旭，不知姑娘如何称呼？
我叫楚红，商山人士。
商山？
嗯。
姑娘可是墨者？
红，你怎么知道？
听闻商山大寨中有一群墨者，通晓机关之术，特来求教。
原来你要找墨者啊！
Shouts out to the VECTREX.
几次进山来偷东西的，就是你们吧？
不，我们
躺在地上那个，难道不是你们同伙？
我们是来找墨者的，和他只是萍水相逢，恰巧同行。
还想狡辩？
阿兄说的是真的，我们是第一次来商山。那何浩说他熟门熟路才一起上山的，我们只是来找人，没有要偷别人的东西。
找人？这里早就没有人了。哼，念在你们是初犯。山门禁地，非请勿入，否则绝不轻饶。
Slow motion turned like ow, stab your ass
没事
to
吧？
death if you come
没事。
in here. I don't think that's how her voice would sound in slow motion. But
我们先把何兄埋了吧，相识一场，也不好让他扑食荒野。
damn, this game is raw. He ain't our friend, but we'll throw him in a hole somewhere. Damn, this is definitely not American with all the flowery shit.
阿
Like,
兄，
I don't really
在
know
烦恼
this
什么？
motherfucker, but let's bury him and shit.
刚刚那位楚姑娘，我觉得她的模样挺
Bravo,
熟悉的
story writers.
肯定在哪儿见过。
阿兄方才可都看呆了。
不止模样熟悉，名字也是。红儿姓什么？姓楚吗？还是姓崔？
红儿，
我们去问问他。
阿兄，他刚刚才说非请勿入，否则绝不轻饶。
She left the door
那是
open.
刚刚。既然认识，也就无妨了。走吧。
Yeah, I think she told them to turn around specifically to entice him to keep going. I do not think she actually intended, like, left the door open like he ain't gonna go up in there. I think that is not probably the most prudent way to look at this. Man. I think I did like 4 different accents at once. That's got to be a skill, or I'm really bad at doing accents. One of those is true. It looks like I'm seeing some solidarity going on in the comment section. So I don't know the full context of the conversation you guys are having because I'm doing my best to actually play a game and not live in the comments. But it looks like you guys are figuring it out and supporting each other. And that's what this group is about so much. And might I add, love. Let's do it for hee-ho, baby. Oh, man, look at that. Oh, that's that killing ass music. You know I love it. Oh. Hey, you asleep? You asleep, ho? Wake up. Wake up. Wiggle, 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 wake up. Bitch. Good morning. It's the Great Stone Dragon! Good morning! He said, good morning. Like the Great Stone Dragon would just yell out, good morning! Fucking Ed, dude. God, the king, bruh. He's one of the kings of the earth. You know a dope person had to be in a movie if you made me watch something Disney made and I liked it.
我说过了，山门禁闭。
红二，西阴街的红二。
你怎么知道？你是谁？
我是李昭，还记得吗？我们常在一起玩耍的。
Ah, so she.
昭小子？不对，李昭早就死了。你是谁？为什么要假冒他？
我没死，阿父阿母冒死把我们送了出来。
站住！我不相信你。李昭13年前就死于火海了。
你腰后的机关鸢还是以前那只吗？记得小时候爬墙
This
帮你
part
捡
is
过几次。
cool.
我时常在东市迷路，绕得晕头转向。
Hey, let's take our glasses off for a second. Hey, first of all, bring all the game designers in. Let's take a look at this. First of all, and I know I'm ruining the scene, but it's worth it. This is actually interesting. And the way I'm interacting with choosing things from the menu, I'm not choosing, going through a list of things that the game is allowing me to choose the order of. You know, the freaking elderberry fucking race on VECTREX 7 is not going to die because I chose the wrong dialogue option. Like, this is interesting. I'm interacting with it, and the way the cutscene... This. If you want to do cutscenes, here you go. Otherwise, shut the fuck up.
你太父最疼你，每天傍晚都来接你。他平时很有威严的一个老人家，跟你讲话的时候都是乐呵呵的。
And the music helps too, by the way. Get your music right, guys. It makes a difference. By the way, did you know that the audio in your videos is actually more important than the video? Remember that little tidbit. If, obviously, your videos have audio in them and you're saying things, it matters.
还有，你送香儿的生辰贺礼，记得吗？
Pronounce how.
你说
Damn
要
it.
再做一个送
I
我，
knew it was
更
gonna
厉
be
害的。
how.
还凑数吗
Because？it's how, I think. So it's how makes sense, is how I think you say that.
是真的，真的是你。这种时候遇见故人，真好。只是你怎么会干起了无本生意？
我们真是来寻找墨者的。 需要修理某种机关。
我可以帮你看看。不过有件要紧事得先处理。
啊？
The MacGuffin.
这些死士兵不是自然形成的，而是受一头大妖控制。
Yes, they are.
但他
We
一直
should
躲在
kill
里
it.
头，很是狡猾。
We going in
得
there
除
to
掉
kill
那
it.
头大妖，
We going in there to kill it.
他们死后也不得安息。
我帮你办，一起。
说实话，我也没有把握杀他。要是一个没弄好，怕是
Okay,
会把
all
你也
right.
搭
The
了进去。
cutscene's getting a little long now. Let's get to it.
若是如此危险，
All right, wrap it
那我
up,
当然
box.
和你一起了。
You're winning.
我还
Get
指望
off
你
the
帮我修复
stage
机关
while
呢，
it's not
可不能
annoying.
让你一个人进去冒险。
好吧，小心行事。
Roger that.
好，
I got better things to do tonight than die. Don't just name the movie. Who said that? Yes, I will do exactly that. Dude, how ill is this game, bro? It looks like I already have both of those equipped. Okay, so I can give the ladies. Yes. How freaking cool. Because I'm not going to need it. Let's protect the ladies for now. And then when we get some new ones, I'll look into getting me one. But for now, let's take care of the ladies, right? Leaders eat last, baby. Or maybe the ladies are the leaders and I should have done it. But we'll figure it out. Yeah, wow. Xuan-Yuan. Well done. I got nothing for you. Oh, that's the kick-ass sound. Where you at? I love a good kick-ass.
你就是香儿吧？
Yeah, sing it, girl.
摩尔姐姐好。
Josh Quinn says, hello, Brian Chambers in
请加
chat.
什么呢？
How are you? Hey, it's long time no see, big brother. How you
摩
doing?
尔姐姐
It's
的
good
故
to see your
事，
face.
没想到有一天竟遇到真人了。
Oh, and I saw Ryan's joke about the audio settings. That was funny.
香儿长得可真甜。
Told you guys Ryan was funny.
天的，还长得真好看。
小嘴这么甜，是真甜的呀。
Here we go. Here we go. Light him up, ladies. Yeah, ho. Oh, I ain't got no more? It's the same. It's the same. Got it. Hit him, lady. Yeah. Oh, that's from Jesus, isn't it? All right, I'm having to learn the controls, so bear with me here. We play a lot of games on these shows, and none of them use the same control scheme, so the first 20 minutes of the game is usually me remembering how to play the game badly. And so hopefully I can level up how fast their moves regen. And if I can, who cares? This is fun, man. I like this. I'm really enjoying the simplicity of this experience, man. I love that they can fight too aside from their special moves, so they're not only useful for their special moves in battle, thus taking away the players' need to micromanage them. In other words, the player's just using them as like a bonus attack, and they're still kicking it. Damn, can other RPG designers just play this shit and see the fun? This is how fun works, ho! Light them up, ladies. Bow! All of your ass! Way to go. Oh, update on my family situation. As you guys know, we had a family member pass away last night, but I had a really endearing talk with my mother-in-law, who was the closest to the family member. Really got to encourage her spirit today, man. And I hope she was encouraged. I don't want to assume that she seemed to be very upbeat, and I can hear her laughing in her room now, talking to her family. She's definitely in better spirits today. She just got to share with me why it was hard that he passed. And when she told me the whole story, I said, you know, Mom, I really wish the world looked at death a little differently. I said, because for some of us, this shit gets too hard, man. You know, and he was an older guy, and he was tortured. He was ready to go home to be with God, man. This is not like a story where this guy, like, intentionally harmed himself or anything. It's just when someone passes away that's in great suffering. Like, my dad was in really great suffering when he passed, but he couldn't die until, because I know the spirit of the man, until he was relieved of duty, until the other men in the family came to him and told him, Dad, we got this. He was hanging on. And I was like, I went to him like a week, maybe two before he passed. I said, hey, man, this is tough sledding. And I said, the type of man you are doesn't deserve to be having his diapers changed. So, if you're ready, we don't want you to go, but we're ready. We got this. Thank you for everything you gave us. So I just told her, sometimes, Mom, people are ready. You just gotta let them go. And she said, yeah, he was. I said, well, cool. Then he didn't die in vain. You know, we can be at peace. You know, when he's at peace. All right, back to happiness. Throw the grenade, lady. Yeah! Woo, the soundtrack in this game is killing too. Especially for that freaking talk I just gave. Jesus Christ, can we... It's supposed to be game therapy, not game depression. Right? Oh, snap. I am total... Oh, no. Did I mess that up or... Hold on, gang. We'll get right back to the story sequence here in a second. I just need to make sure I did not bolo something egregiously. Let's see, Josh says, anyway, I'm going through a problem at present that I need it. Oh, bring it. Let's talk about the problem, man. That's what we're here for. Help each other out. What's your problem? What can we do for you, bro? Ah, so sometimes it's the game. So, Josh, here's what I need from you. The last couple of shows, I've been asking everybody to list their favorite games for me. Would you please list 1 or 7? However many you like. Up to, I'd say, 5 to 7. You don't need to really do more than that, otherwise we'll have a billion games. Could you list for me your favorite games that you would like to see played on the show? I'm trying to get that input from everybody so I can incorporate things that I know you all like into the production schedule here. That is how you build a show with your audience. Oh, yes, here we go. Found it. Wait a minute, no, I didn't. This is... Wait, did I get cut off from something by coming through this joint? Like, how do I get back to... Where's the map at? Oh, okay, yeah, I am cut off from the thing. So when we got into this part of town, it looks like it cut us off from the other part of town where I think I might have missed that shrine. But then again, maybe I didn't. Maybe we're okay. Let's get to it. I'm lollygagging. Yes, I knew it, whore. Oh, this is just where I was before. I was like, oh, secrets. Ain't no secrets, ho. You're just dumb. Get up. What's that? You will survive! You will survive! You will survive! You will survive! What the money? What the money? You're not going to convince me that Liu Kang wasn't saying you will survive and what the fuck was that as the names of his moves that he was doing? And the I don't know what that shit is. But he's saying you will survive and what the fuck was that? When he would take the hard hit, what the fuck was that? I know that's what he's saying. Don't try to convince me otherwise, Mortal Kombat people. rest and save the game
红儿
lore.
你这些年都待在西域？
6年前，太傅将我和几位师兄姐送去西域，也没说是为了什么。现在想想，或许太傅那时已有预感了吧。
其他人都留在西域了吗？
他们都死在半路了，只有我平安到了西域。
啊，
那又是另外一个故事了。
All right. Let's see. Josh says Paper Mario. Okay, let me write that down. Excuse me, Katana Blade. We'll be back to hanging out in a minute. Let's get my note-taking device out. No, that's not it. That is it. All right, so let's put down Josh. Quinn says Paper Mario 1 through 3. Yeah, so you guys come from that GameCube or the N64 like generation of games, which are inherently hard to stream. I mean, I guess I can get the stuff to hook it up. I don't have the devices to play some of these games. Let's see. And then you said Pokemon. Pokemon I can't do. In fact, I've got after Christmas. Where is it? Oh snap! Did I move it? Ah, here it goes. Here it goes. Candy Graham. So after Christmas, I don't know if you like Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, but one of these I'm planning to. Oh, I'm sorry. After the New Year, this is hopefully one of the games we'll add to the thing because I got this for my kids for Christmas. It's a double pack, and I'm gonna give each of them one, my youngest kids, and they're gonna be able to play Pokemon together with each other on their Switches. So that's Dad's Christmas gift to them. And don't worry, they don't watch this show, so there's no spoilers. I'm not interesting enough to those kids for them to watch Dad's show. It's not happening. All right, as to your problem, you feel angry, okay? Even though it's settling, it's still there, okay? It probably has a reason to be there, that's okay. But now mixed with a bit of anxiety, okay? Nothing sounds off just yet, let's keep reading. Let's just say the actions of someone I know has encroached on my sphere of life, and I am worried that it has likely affected me, and so my plans a bit for my holiday break, okay? It can certainly be stressful, I'm sure. However, thinking about it, I think what I am mad over is that it feels like I am under their mercy of the consequence of this person's actions and beliefs. It feels like I am having this grudge like anger, even though I know it's wrong to feel this way towards someone. Well, let's not assume that it's wrong to feel anger, right? Even the Bible, I know you're a fan of that, says be angry and sin not, which implies we can be angry and not be in the wrong. It's how we use the anger that's important, right? But I don't want to make any snap judgments, just throwing that out there to encourage you. Not only that, I feel like I am feeling selfish, although apparently it does not. Well, the theme of tonight's show is perfect for Josh. Welcome. You feel like you're being selfish? Apparently it does not seem to be the entire case since I am feeling for others. Okay. So last night's show was titled "You Are Not Selfish Enough," and I can usually say that to 99% of the people I run into. And it's, interestingly enough, their lack of selfishness is also correlated with why they're not as successful as they want to be. Because somebody put an algorithm in their subconscious brain that told them, hey, if you make a lot of money, you're evil, or whatever dumb shit that they don't realize is running in the background that makes them avoid money. Like people for years I used to hear things living in the South like, well, you know, women can't be preachers. I'm like, oh, word, we're going to take that scripture that Paul wrote completely out of context because you have no fucking clue who he was talking to when he said that? Okay, great. Let's work on that fucking 6th grade education level there, homie. Or what was the other one? What was the one I wanted to throw at you too? Either way, the concept here is that the quote, money is the root of all evil, which is a horrible misquoting of what that old proverb actually says. It's ludicrous. Like, money is the root of all evil. Word. I'll remind everyone that the thing we call evil existed before the shit we called money. Anyway, so my question to you after those encouragements, to not be so hard on yourself for feeling angry and feeling selfish. Those are two appropriate emotions depending on the context. So that's my encouragement to you. My question to you is, how close are you to this individual? You don't need to give me details, just really close or not that close at all, because that will determine how close are you to this individual. Really close, kind of close, not close at all. Those are your three options. And do you want to maintain or improve either one of those three things? That's my first question, and then we'll move on to the next part of helping you get a solution to your problem. All right, so the thing is over here. That's where the people we need to kill are. Great question, by the way, Josh. Thanks for having the courage. And for all of you that come on the show and share some of y'all's deepest, darkest challenges, hey, thanks for having the courage to do that. That's warrior shit, man. It takes a lot of courage to come into a room of people you really don't know that well and start talking about your life. Like, I know from personal experience, I don't do that shit. I ain't about to walk in nowhere and just start talking. So you guys have a bravery that I ain't got, and I respect that. I'm not trying to make fun. I mean it. Like, that's bravery, and you should be proud of yourself for having, one, the bravery to open up, also the humility to ask somebody else to help you out. I lost that humility when I was younger because people did a lot of bad shit to me, and I'd stopped trusting. You know, but you get to a place where, if all you look at is the bad shit that was done to me, which when I look at my life was done by the minority of the people in my life, the majority of the people in my life are really good, but we tend to focus on what's hurting. If I took this blade and jammed it into my shoulder all the way in, right? And my wife walked in and said, hey, I just made $1 million on this other business we're running. Do you think I would be really excited about that business? No, I got a damn blade in my arm, right? And so we tend to respond to pain. And so I focused so much on my pain, it put me in a position where I didn't ever want to trust or be really, not that I didn't want to be connected to people, because every human needs that. I just had a feeling my connections were going to be rare, because who could you ever trust if the people closest to you are the ones, hurting you the most? It's like, well, I got to learn how to do for myself and not really depend on people emotionally is my weakness. Not, I am totally can ask for help in other areas, but emotionally, nope, because the people I had to go to for help were either unavailable, unqualified, or the ones hurting me. So, in some cases, not all. Certainly my life was way more the good stuff than the bad, but the bad still hurts. So, knowing that, you're feeling some pain over things that are done to you, you need to take the right actions despite the fact that you're feeling the anger. Right? That's what we want. That's what I think. That's what I hear you and think you were saying. Happy to be corrected if you meant something different. But my takeaway is you're angry, and you still want to make good decisions and do right by people, even though you're angry, which is admirable and honorable. All right, showtime. Hit him, girl. Kick ass. Grenade time. Oh, she ain't ready? Where's your grenade? All late to the party with GrenadeAction.net. Oh, she learned the martial art escort. Hell yeah, I'm about to do that right the hell now. Kicking that. Oh, I can't do it in a fight. Oh, assholes. Kill him. You holding up my inventory management, ho. Get your ass dead and on the ground and dead. Wait, was it hers or hers? It's saying she learned a new one, but I don't see it. Yeah, I don't see this new thing everybody learned. Anyway, whatever it was. Yeah, it definitely wasn't a harness soul. Alright, let's make some armor. Love it. Yes, I'd love to equip it. Thank you. This is so effing easy and intuitive and simple. Thank you, game designers, for making it so. Alright, so I'm crafting new armor in the forge that, like, I can make a forge, then I can upgrade the forge, and then I can make things with a forge that make me stronger in the game. Jesus is the Lord, isn't he? Get out of here. This is too much fun, man. Don't let them know I'm having fun, Clem. Shut them down. Clem says, going to bed. We are stronger than I. We are stronger than I, my man. Much love to you, bro. See you soon. I was actually contemplating... oh, sorry. Alright, so Josh goes on to say, that is true. Anger in and of itself is an emotion after all, so it's neither good nor bad. Right. At the moment, I am mad at the person, and I'm also, in turn, mad at Christians who have this whole belief that God would look after them without any help from other sources. Okay. I think I know what you're getting at. You were actually contemplating whether you should reach out to you, as right now the only people I can reach out to in this moment is you who are streaming, and now my therapist who is likely in bed. I got you. I could share this with any of my friends. I needed someone who's more level-headed. Okay, cool. Yeah, and Turbo's right. When faith is involved, it's hard to share because faith is very personal for all of us. We all have very different spiritual experiences, you know, and there are those in the world who feel as though their spiritual experiences are, you know, with confirmation bias, the exact proper way to go about doing things, and so they're going to let you know about it. And by the way, I'm not saying that they're wrong. Maybe they are. They're usually pretty bad salespeople at getting you to believe it. Or, I'm sorry, they're usually bad influencers. If you thought those two things were different things, you're lying to yourself. Josh says, as for the person, well, he is the pastor as my family's church. So, okay. Okay, it's not casual or close. Indeed, thanks. Okay, so this is the easy problem. So you're angry that something has happened faith-related and it's disrupting your expectations for how you were going to spend the holidays, and other people are involved and you don't have full control or agency over making your own decisions, it sounds like. Is that accurate? So I'm frustrated because I wanted holidays to go one way, but other people who see things differently from me, including the pastor who apparently has done something, has disrupted what my vision of the holidays were going to be, and now I'm angry about that. Is that accurate for the most part? By the way, none of this is inappropriately selfish. Nothing I just said is inappropriately selfish. It's okay to feel how you feel. But let me make sure I've got the notes right before we go in further with talking the advisory side, if there is to be any advice. I really just want to listen to you and help you if I can. I may not have any advice, but I got to hear it to listen. Booyah! I love that grenade. Well done, lady. Oh, that's why. Oh, leveled up, baby. I'll at you. Dang, I'm already on level 17. I'm kicking ass all night, every day, and twice on Thursday. What? Yeah, exactly what I was thinking, man. Wah. The noble liquor. Let us take a sip of the noble liquor. Soul of armor. How much money do I have? 3 G's? Ooh, I do not have the... Yes, I want that. Abso-freaking-lutely, I want the healing potion recipe. Because now I can go into my joint. Yeah, buy low, sell high. Okay, I imagine I can make one of those, so I don't need that. Oh, I got the crimson liquor. And I got some noble liquor. I didn't realize I had the noble liquor. So out of all the liquors, which one would we make noble? And this is coming from a guy who's not sampled very many liquors in my lifetime. So I will not have a dog in the fight, just for the drinkers out there. What would noble liquor be? Is that Jägermeister? I've heard that's a thing. I've also heard it's gross, so I never drank it. Everyone's like, hey, Jägermeister, take a Jäger bomb. I said, you are way too excited. And no, you're too jipper and excited about me drinking this thing for me to think this isn't a setup for you to enjoy me suffering. Because that's what white people do to each other at parties. You ever, like, if you've never been to an exclusively white person party, fall asleep at that motherfucker. And I realize Dave Chappelle does a joke about this, but he's exactly like, fall asleep at that motherfucking, the fucking shit I've seen these people do to each other when they're asleep is like, oh, damn, is that, I guess that's how the Europeans do this shit. Putting hands in water so you piss yourself, like, what? Because Dave Chappelle talks about, his joke says they put a carrot in the guy's ass, which totally I've seen. I'll end the sentence there. They put a carrot in the guy's ass. They put shaving cream on his balls. I'm like, I've probably seen that one. Not the carrot. That's just rude. But shaving cream, maybe not on the guy's balls, but they'll put it on your hands and tickle your face so you'll rub it on your face. I've seen the hand in water so the people piss all over themselves. It's fucking bedlam. And so that's why I think I never grew up to go to bars. Because one, by the time I got drinking age, I went to a historically black college. If you know anything about black culture, we ain't really bar people, yo. Or at least the black side of me. I have a white side too. But the white side doesn't win that fight. I hate bars. I'd rather, honestly, I don't know what I'd rather do. Take an arrow to the knee, then go sit at a loud-ass bar with people that don't bathe or brush their teeth properly while they're drinking. To watch them be drunk, not my thing. But, we had house parties. But I think part of the reason why I also didn't grow up to go to bars is I saw in high school how white people treat each other when they get drunk. It's like, god damn. This shit is fucking, this is horrible. Like, this is how y'all do this shit? Yeah. The worst thing, I'm trying to think, what's the worst thing that happened at a house party is don't go to the door that's locked. Like, there's things going on in there you don't need to be a part of. There's adults in there handling business.
这头大妖狡猾得很，恐怕不会轻易现身。
Or, the room with the smoke coming out of it.
他能够操控尸体。
Tread carefully.
等到我们
It's
弄
not
出来
regular
的时
smoke
候，
in there,
再
people.
一举偷袭。
Yeah, I mean, and I joke that all these cultures are more alike than they are different. That's what to me makes this shit so funny. Is the slight differences. It's hilarious. Like, we're all more alike than we're different.
绝不容许大妖亵渎。
All right, Josh says, pretty much, particular with the whole lacking agency. However, it's not so much him having other plans and getting me and my family involved. It's more like the combination of his belief and devotion of his job that has affected my life. I guess I should start more direct instead of vague on this. He came under the weather and affected my mom, who affected my dad, in turn who I live with. I got you. Now it's just me and my sister, which we are uncertain, and I feel. So, are you talking about a situation where your family has, like, is this a COVID situation that you're having to? Because you haven't been here in a while. I just went through 80% of my family having COVID, so I can relate to the hell you're probably going through. Now, fortunately for me, I was one of the people who didn't catch it, so there was a parent in the house that didn't have it. But mommy, unfortunately, caught it. Everybody's healed now. But the bottom line is, dudes, however, got your mom sick, and now your mom got your dad sick, and now the holidays are effed up. Yeah, you're angry. That should be the end of the discussion. Like, I'm angry as fuck because this fucked up Christmas. Good. You should be angry. And now, it's knowing that Christmas is going to be disrupted. How can you make the most out of the situation you're in? If you shift your focus to how do I find a way, and ask this question out loud, because when the Bible says, take those thoughts captive to the obedience of Jesus Christ, and then that other scripture that says the power of life and death is in your tongue, let me tell you what that means from a scientific perspective. When you talk, you program this, which is why I tell all of you to watch the fuck what you say, right? You program this thing to take action. So if you ask out loud, hey brain, how can we find a way to still enjoy the holidays despite the fact that we just got a shit sandwich made and handed to us? Your subconscious brain is now bound to find the answer to that. That is where your conscious focus will go, and you'll focus less on being angry about the thing that happened to you and more focused on creating happiness for yourself despite the pain. Then your anger becomes the fuel you use to create the good thing. That's how you master it. And that, my friend, is how you be angry and sin not. Class dismissed. Yeah, so you're angry, and you're going to stay in anger the more you focus on what was done to me. Get out of that energy. It's okay, what do we do about it now? And then your anger will not just subside, you'll be able to use it to create the good environment. Like the Good Life Playbook. All of you that have been through that course or are still going through it. And I'm talking with my team about how we can add some value to it in the new year. For those of you that are still going through the course. It's like, I made that because I was fucking pissed off at a lot of the courses I had paid for and taken and other things I was seeing in the world that were teaching people shit that wasn't helping them. It's anger. But I didn't make it angry. Ah, 69 pillars, motherfucker. I took the anger, sat with it, understood why I was angry, and I'm angry because people are being taken advantage of. And I'm like, okay, then go not take advantage of people. Go basically give away a $10,000 education to people. Charge a ridiculously low price, which guarantees you'll sell less of it because of how human psychology works, which is fine. But the people who get to go through it will get a lot of benefit out of it, hopefully, if it works for them. The teaching style may not work, etc., etc. It's not the greatest thing in the world for everybody, but for the people it jives with, it works. So that wanting to help people and essentially almost give it away for free came from me being angry about those same people being taken advantage of. Right, so use your aggressive feelings, boy. Let the hate flow through you. Emperor Palpatine was right. Just don't use it to electrocute the shit out of people because you're a coward. Use it to build something valuable for someone else. Get some, lady. That lady kicks. I like her. She kicks all kind of ass. So the staircase ended up being the right way to begin with. Yeah, son, bring that. All that loving that you need. Right here at the tip of my blade, folks. Oh, nice hit. Nice hit. Give me that money, ho. All my cash. Oh, I thought I was gonna be able to slice the doors. Wasn't that Blades of Tsushima, or what was it? Ghost of Tsushima, isn't that what you did? You sliced the doors open? I don't remember. Let's see, Corey says, you teaching and that preaching, and we all need to hear it, sir. It's one of those I'm preaching better than y'all shouting situations. Palpatine was right. I love how that emerged relevant to the conversation. So yeah, Palpatine was right. He was just a coward, so he directed it in the wrong way. I wish those movies did a better job of actually showing that villains are actually fucking cowards. Not just megalomaniacs who are obsessed with power. Like, there's a reason beyond just simple psychopathy in a lot of cases. This person got other issues. Like, they want to control things because they are fearful. Nobody that's actually powerful wants to control anybody or anything, because you already have the power. Like, if I walk into a... Well, let me not say that, because someone would take that imagery as if... let me come up with another softer example so the world doesn't fucking melt with the bad dreams I give people for telling the truth. Like, if I showed up... Here we go. We'll make something completely fictitious, because then it's not... Whatever. If I showed up during... You know, like, if I showed up during the movie 300 where the Spartans were fighting off the Persians, right? If I showed up in a Humvee, like if I showed up with 12 Humvees with miniguns, 6 Bradleys, and a couple of tanks, I'm not going to really have to be controlling. So I'm just going to show up, we're going to put a couple Sabo rounds in some people's asses, and they're going to be like, oh, that's the new king. There he is. Good day, king. Good day, everyone. Did you enjoy the Sabo round in the ass? Great. Now listen, my subjects. Like, the person who actually has power doesn't need to fuck with people. You're already powerful. You're trying to control people because you're a coward who wants... Like, your happiness is predicated on other people behaving in a way. And I'm like, if your happiness is predicated on another human's behavior, you will be sad for your whole life. The whole thing's going to be sadness. If... your whole happiness depends on the liberals acting right, well, you're going to be sad. Because with your very basic belief system, there's really nothing they can do to ever appease you, so. Good luck with happiness. It's not coming. Well, it sounds to me, Josh, like a lot of your holiday plans will not or should not be interrupted by your current plight. You should be able to knock that out and get her done. So yeah, focus on those goals that you set for the holidays and get those done. And then use the anger as fuel to get those things done, instead of the anger being the paralyzing force that just makes you stew. You know, use the law of inertia with anger. All right. Hold on, they have to mandatorily talk because it's a video game. God, for introverts, for a medium made by introverts, they do a lot of damn talking. The people who are supposed to be introspective and shut the fuck up, this is where they get it all out of their system. So yeah, it's transmuting the energy, right? So use the laws of inertia, which an object at rest tends to want to stay at rest. So if you stay in that energy, I'm going to be angry and stew, you're going to want to stay there. It's like the person who keeps hitting the snooze button. You are disobeying the laws, or you're adhering to the laws of inertia. It's why you're not getting out of the bed, right? And a force at rest it wants to stay at rest until acted on by an outside force. All right, I'm paraphrasing. So create the outside force to move you out of the stewing energy, and the outside force that you create is the want to get those tasks done. And then so the anger is going to get you amped up. Use that amped up nature. Like, I've always had my best workouts when I'm pissed all the way off. Like when I'm in the gym, and I sometimes will go to private gyms so I don't have to get yelled at by millennials or whatever. Like sometimes I have to grunt to get the fucking weight up, and I'll scream, but under my breath, like, ah, but not quite that loud. I'll whisper it, because fucking 145 pounds trying to curl that shit up, it's hard sometimes. It's like, all right, and it's like I'll just scream everything the fuck out of me, and then I'm good. I go home and hug babies and, you know, give to the church, and yeah, it becomes awesome. Hua, thank you, Jolly, for being diligent, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, and if you end up having it, you get to hang with them. You know, and the cool thing was, like, the being separated from my wife and kids, the good side of it was that when we got back together, it was like seeing old friends. Like, oh, man, you know, like me and my wife, it was like, I missed you. The first time we got to hug, like, I mean, we hug all the time, but, like, not having her touch is not good for me. And it's like, you know, you get through it. But when she finally came upstairs, was able, out of quarantine, and could hug me, it was like, oh, don't move. Just let me hold you. Just, you're real. Let me touch you and hold you here, because you are the source of my peace. Thank you for being in my life and for getting rid of COVID so that we could hug again. So you'll have something to look forward to on the back end of it, which is reuniting. And that, my friend, is how you stay in positive energy. When things ain't going your way, look for the silver linings. Let's see. Turbo says, Bryant, I am really having a hard time knowing if feelings I have are legit, okay, or just overreactions from previous garbage. I don't understand how those two, like, so what makes, I'm going to get really technical with you here so I can understand what you're trying to say to me. Because I understand you're trying to describe something very esoteric like emotion, so work with me. What do you mean by legit? How do you define an emotion as legit? Because that's not a thing that I'm familiar with. Versus an overreaction from previous garbage. Well, both of the things you're describing sound like emotions. What help me with some other language so I can wrap my head around exactly what you're going through. Because if I am kind of understanding what I think you're trying to convey, the title of tonight's video would make a lot of sense. The topic of tonight's video would definitely be for you. But I'll let you come back. And actually, while you answer that, I'm going to take a break. And then we'll come back and finish this thing, won't we? Dang, it's already midnight. Good Lord. See, time flies when I'm having fun with good people. Be right back, gang. Just slide on by that good old swag store. Get you. And thank you for the people who bought things last night. I do not take that for granted. For all of you that were buying things from the swag store last night when I put this up, bless you. Bless you, bless you. Thank you. It contributes to us maybe even turning this thing into a really well-oiled machine of a show one day. Let's keep it going. All right, I'll be back in a moment. All right, back in the game. Yo, did I do the thing where I left my sunglasses in another room again? I think I did that. Oh, well, we don't have much show left anyway. So we'll go sans sunglasses here for the last part. I'll take these last comments. We'll try to finish up the part of the game we're in. And then we'll call it a noche. Let y'all get on to bed, shan't we? Because I think this is the next jump-off point. And I bet you down there's a boss fight of some kind, because I can see a thing moving around that I'm going to guess is the boss fight. I'm going to put that here, take some comments, and get a snack as part of the break. Where are my Jewish brothers and sisters at? I am now partaking a part of a Kringle. Now, if you've not been blessed with a Kringle, highly suggest it. Now, as far as the texture and the taste, it's much like the Danishes you get at a coffee shop. Kind of like the cinnamon buns with the icing. However, this one has a bouquet of flavor that's rooted in almond, which is particularly delicious. I love a good Kringle, man. And it was my Jewish brothers and sisters and others that introduced me to it. I didn't know. I had never heard of a Kringle probably up until... What year is this? 6 years ago. It's probably the first time I had one. Some of my friends and acquaintances hooked me up with it. Let me share in the tradition. Delicious. And I don't usually like almond flavored shit. It's usually nasty, but they hit the right note on this one. It's like if a Pop-Tart was actual pastry and delicious. With a really distinct, like I said, there's a lot of flavors going on in here. The butter, a little bit of salt from the butter, a little bit of sweetness from the butter, the flakiness and the tenderness of the crust. The icing that's got a lot of, yeah. Kringle, baby. Love a good Kringle. All right. Let's take some comments. Let's go kick a boss's ass and let's get everyone in the bed. Shall we? Hey, Jay says he's going to purchase something. Well, thank you, sir. Bless your heart. We appreciate that. Let's see, Turbo goes on to say, all emotions, like the impulse to get resolution, okay, is strong. But is it strong because of fears of abandonment and should not be so strong? Or like seeing my youngest having shoes with sole split, being full of rage? Okay. I know I should reflect on the emotions, acknowledge and release, but part is also addressing the issues, and if I am level 10 instead of 2, well, reactions and responses are over the top. Yeah, so this is, you know, if you were one of my troops and I was taking you into it, I'm not taking you into that fight. Like, this is a situation where any potential conflicts, your strategy has to be breaking contact, because you're not in an emotional state where you're going to be able to be rational, objective, and diplomatic. You're going to be angry because you're hurting, which is, anger is it goes hurt, fear, anger. That's the process of emotions that I usually see in people. The hurt happens, it scares you because nobody likes feeling hurt because it hurts. And then anger is the defense mechanism emotion that comes to cover the fearful kid, because we all still have that fearful 8-year-old inside of us. That doesn't go away, ever. You just learn how to appease him, or her, or otherwise. Right? But you also learn how to build maturity and emotional stability around that child, where that child can have the freedom to exist. But that child doesn't ever really go away. And so you have to nurture it and know how, nurture her in your case, and know when is appropriate to address things and when is not. I totally get the wanting things to be resolved, because that's the fear and the anxiety of, I want this pain to be over. Or at least that's part of it, right? I'm sure that's not the whole of it. You want things resolved because you want them resolved too. So let me keep reading. That's what I'm gathering so far. Let's see, Turbo says, you can name any emotion, and right now, it's all like amplified. So really hard to tell how much. So yeah, exactly right. Treat it like you're on drugs, for lack of a less silly way to say it. Like, if you were high, would you go have that conversation with a person? No. You'd wait till you sobered up. Or drunk. No. So the emotional state you're in is like being high or drunk. You need to wait until the chemicals inside you work on your tactical breathing, or box breathing, I think is what we call it now, box breathing. Work on your box breathing. That'll take your heart down. You know, if you do prayer and meditation, do it, and do guided meditations if that helps, so that you can properly pray. Like, because I don't want you to necessarily release your emotions until you fully process them. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to release them. You know, like, think back in your memory to something that really, really hurt you. And if you can still feel the sting of it from years ago, your emotional part of your brain is still processing the hurt. And so we've got to give ourselves space to process the hurt before we try to get rid of the pain. And so if you've got like the chronic pain, the emotional pain, remember, emotional pain is actually a good thing. It's a warning system that something is wrong. So let's look at what are the root causes of your pain, because whether the emotion is a legit emotion or a thing from the past, does that affect you taking the next right action in order to process the emotion? Maybe not. Maybe the focus becomes not worrying over where these emotions come from or exactly why I'm feeling them. I mean, you want to know the root causes and the catalyst of the pain, but you're not going to have all the answers for why you feel all the things you feel. So instead, just focus on, let's identify what are the root causes of my pain right now. Because the pain is what's giving way to the fear and the anger. Bring it all the way back to the pain. All right, and then you can properly start to deal with, face, and process the emotion. Because that 8-year-old is finally getting listened to. Mommy's coming and saying, "What's up, little one? Hey, Mom, glad you're here. Listen, I've been screaming at you from the inside because here's all the stuff that was, here's all the pain points." And then you just start to, as is appropriate and as is possible, deal with those root cause pain points. And then you will notice the physical pain that you're in will start to subside. But until you process emotion, it's not going anywhere. Not going anywhere. All right, the last piece of the Kringle. Here we go. Yeah, well, Josh, keep in mind, even though your parents have COVID, they're still your parents. They're not going to let you starve to death. All right? Probably going to be a lot of ordering out. I know that's what my family went through. So I wouldn't worry about starving. I think your parents are going to have that covered. And I know you're more worried about not being a burden. I'm joking around with you. But you won't be. Your parents will most likely still be functional. Let's pray that their symptoms are mild. And look at the good side. They're going to be building up antibodies and resistance to this thing. So your whole house is going to be in a good place when this is over. So hang in there, man. You'll make it. He said, look at B being a basic-ass food critic. My team hates me so lovingly. I love it. They hate me exactly the right way. It just makes me warm inside. And I'm not even joking. I'm joking about the hating part, but oh my God, that was great, Jolly. Good bit. Good jab, man. Love a good jab. That's one of my favorite things in the world, man, is when people can make fun of me and it's dead on. That just gets me in my soul. I cry when people make fun of me. Like, one of my boys on TikTok did a bit on me. And he hit me up first. He's like, "Hey, bro, do I need to pull any punches? Because I'm going all..." I said, "Bro, talk about whatever. Talk about my gap tooth, my fucking lopsided afro. I don't give a fuck. Go all in." And he did. and I did a reaction to his video. I was crying. Because everything he was saying, while it was funny and he was making fun of me, it was also true. So it was just like, if I was a sensitive person, it would be like, you'd have had your feelings hurt. But he was in fact, I took some of his jokes and was like, you know what? I actually need to, no bullshit. He's joking. But that's something I need to work on. And I did. I started to correct shit after he made that shit making fun of me. I was like, damn, he's joking, but he's right. This dude is a beast. Yeah, one of my military friends, man. Let's see what we got here. Jolly says, also cool thing that I just started out of creativity and curiosity. I started a financial channel with experiments and tutorials. And one day it's moving faster than any other of my channel. There you go, 8 subs. Yeah, because think about the timing, Jolly. Everybody is having, even if it's not financial challenges, they're having financial concerns, right? People losing jobs, people having to, move, their job changes. Is their job stability? Are we going to go back to regular jobs when this is all over? Hopefully not. I hope, well, some of the positive things I hope come out of COVID are the disruption that's needed to happen for 20 years. Like, why in the fuck are our tax dollars still spending however many millions they're spending to send all these employees into these expensive ass buildings? Send their asses home with a computer and get to fucking work. We don't need to be paying and DC could do with less motherfuckers traveling to it every day, and then them having to pay the taxes for us fucking up their city. Like, that's the type of shit I think about. Like, yeah, so you're making a channel at a time where people have a lot of questions, and I think that shows a lot of empathy, and that's probably why you're getting the traction. And only 2 are from you. Hey, 8 subs in a day on YouTube is killing. Because YouTube, other than Facebook, YouTube I don't really play as much as a practitioner anymore, but like even with the businesses I've helped or some of the folks that still hit me up, YouTube was always the hardest place to get a following. Like, you had to be dope to get, like, just to get 1,000 people to follow you on YouTube, you had to be on some shit. Because it was like, why would I subscribe? There's 6 million other channels talking shit. The other, because I've never also considered YouTube social media. It's the worst social platform, but it's the best content platform out of all the quote-unquote social medias. I would actually call YouTube an OTT platform at this point, especially with, now that I have YouTube Premium and I see where their business is actually going and the things that are showing up in my feed that I think you guys don't see if you don't have Premium. I'm like, oh, dude, Netflix better keep their shit together. Because YouTube is coming for that ass hard. So anyway, there you go. But no, I think that's cool, man. But 8 subscribers in a day is killing on YouTube. That's murder. Let's see, Jay says, I'm in the Discord. Oh, thanks, Jolly, I was just getting ready to say, hey, everybody make sure you're on the Discord. And everybody, if you haven't already, or if you missed the intro during this video, go ahead and join the book club if you haven't. I mean, if you're interested in getting book recommendations that are actually going to help your life and business get more awesome, right? I should start doing what marketers do. This book list is guaranteed to get you laid 68% faster. Like, I should just do that made up bullshit that marketers do to get people enthusiastic because people like being lied to. I should just do that. Then we'll have everybody on the book list. I'm getting laid. That's right. I'm in that book list, son. They'll make the effort to socialize, man. Trust me, they're your padres. They are your padres, boy. Uh-oh. Need more time. Did I save? I did save. Let's get busy so we can get up out of here. I'm learning as I go and sharing that info without giving advice. That's perfect. You are the type of person everybody wants to follow. You're not preaching at me. You're not telling me I'm an idiot. I don't have to feel the fear of missing out, bias, jealousy tendency that all these fucking stars use to make you keep watching their shit so that you compare yourself to them and then you feel bad about your life, but you keep watching them hoping they're going to tell you this magical secret that leads you to their success. Here's the fucking secret. You can turn off all the shit. Just do dope shit for a long time. Period. That's the secret. But yeah, no. I think what you're up to is killing, bro. Let's see, Jay says, relationship advice. As a man, quote unquote, should I be more patient when dealing with an anxiety-filled woman? Currently, our dog is healing from surgery, so she is very anxious, and so other small things are now heightened. See, I was told not to get on the roller coaster ride, so I'm training to do that, but it's tough. I also appreciate this setup. I work overnights as a network engineer, and these live chats. Hey, okay, but this is what the show was designed for, bro. Is professionals who are kicking ass. Welcome. Yeah, my biggest fear was that this was going to get kind of labeled as like a gaming. I'm like, this couldn't be any different from gaming, like the typical gaming other than the idiocy that I display regularly. That's probably related to, and that's not implying that gamers are idiots. Someone will say, he said gamers are idiots. No, you said that because you're an idiot. But it was like, I'm doing gaming shit, but it's not for the stereotypical gamer. Now, if you're a gamer and you happen to be watching, welcome. But it's for professional mofos who know that they're dope, and you could use a crew of people to help you get to your full potential. That's us. That's what we do. We just make superheroes able to do their shit faster. That's really all we do, man. So let's go back to your relationship advice. So should you be more patient when dealing with someone who has anxiety? I think the answer to that is define what you mean by being more patient. Because, I mean, you should always be patient with people to the degree that patience is it's totally circumstantial, right? Like, if she's running at you with a knife because she's anxious, probably need to be a little impatient in that case. We need to block that, separate her from the knife, call the doctors and the police. You know what I mean? If she's a bit more neurotically hard to listen to because she's fear-mongering or worry-warding, that's what my mom's a very anxious person, and she does what I call worry-warding. And that's wearing on you because you may be more extroverted. Then I think the strategy is not only be more patient, perhaps separate yourself from situations where you're going to if what I'm even suggesting is true. I don't know because I don't have the specifics, but I imagine this is part of what you're talking about. Then it's break contact. Like, when she's in her emotional shit, her emotions don't need to be your emotions. Let her feel what she feels, and you go feel what you feel, right? And if she is stepping on boundaries because of her anxiety, then it's okay to say, hey, boss, I get that you're scared. I got it. But I need you to take some of that bass out your voice when you're talking to me about shit. Like, I just had to do that with my mother-in-law the other day. Like, she had got frustrated about something and started to bug. I said, now, hold on. We're going to take that bass out of our voice in this house, chief. Ain't nothing but love and respect for you in here, and that's what's got to come back my way. And that was it. And she literally stopped. She's like, oh my God, was I being belligerent? I said, maybe you weren't intending to be, but that's how it sounded. And if you weren't, I hugged her, kissed her, rolled out. You know, conflict 101. You make it about the issue, not about the human. I could knock 6 months off my 2-year wait. Let's see, Jay says, I mainly want to read to train the brain more, be more insightful. Yeah, the stuff in this book challenge is going to help you do exactly that, dude. All the books I'm recommending have a point. It's not just, hey, let's read The Lord of the Rings and talk about our fucking feelings. Let's not. Here's my feelings. I love J.R.R. Tolkien. I think he's a great writer, and he talks too damn much. In scenes where I want to get to the next thing, he's got to go back and talk about something. Could you keep us focused? I have dyslexia, and it took me this long to get this far in the fucking book. Stay focused. You know, like these books are designed to get specific results in your life for things that you're attempting to do. So, you're in the right place, homeboy. Her attitude, rudeness, and emotional instability and lack of proper communication. But you're right. Yeah, so break contact, and when your boundaries are breached, communicate. But communicate in love and with patience. And reinforce, like, hey, I'm not going to take you talking to me like that. I get you scared, and that's how you roll. Go talk to the dog then. Don't talk to me about that shit. You know, and hey, I love you, but take that bass out your voice when you talk to me. We're going to respect each other, you know. Obviously, you probably don't want to say it like that if you don't want to get your ass beat. but something along those lines where you're communicating, hey, like the way you're talking to me feels disrespectful. I get that you're scared. Can we dial that back a little bit? Like, we're on the same team. We need to be collaborating, not fussing at each other. But neurotics tend to do that. They fuss and they bring other people into their neuroticism. And believe me, if you have a hyper neurotic person, don't ever not be neurotic around them, because you really get yelled at. You're not as terrified of me, of these damn liberals. You need to be yelling as loud as I am, or you're not one of us. Like, I'm not one of you. So either shoot me now, or let's just wait a couple months when we kill all of y'all. I don't know. Who cares? Let's get out of here. Who's we? I don't know who the fuck we're talking about. Yeah, and never try to apply logic to an emotional situation. It's the most ridiculous thing. I have trained more men in that scenario. Like, stop. Dude, it's an emotional situation. Stop applying logic. Logic has no place here. Let the person feel. That's why they're expressing what they're expressing. They need a place to get this shit off of them because it's disturbing them. And so you just need to be a sounding board. You need to also not take on their anxiety, which is probably why it feels uncomfortable for you, because I imagine you're an empathetic person and you can feel their anxiety when they communicate. Sometimes I wish I had less empathy. I wish I could turn that shit off. Woo! So, if you're like that, I feel you. Alright, boss time, hoes. Let's kick ass. It's a very long introduction scene to kicking ass. Oh, ring the bell, son. Cut him up, lady. Cut him up. Grenades. Bow! Watch out, homie. Keep killing. And they're no longer under the spell. Well done, lady.
好了，接下来
The comic relief is here.
大妖被杀死了。
是啊，终于。张小子，你这身手可真了不起。
红儿还是叫我子旭吧。
好，多谢子旭，助我为师门报仇。
红儿别多礼，我们既是旧识，遇到困难本就该互相帮助。我只是做我该做的。
无论如何，都承你的情。需要修复的机关，给我看看吧。
我去取来，稍等片刻。
那好，我先收拾一番。
Did I miss anything else from Turbo, or was she pretty good?
谢谢你。
天下 K。
来的总是那么突然，黑火。一开始，好几年一次，然后几个月一次，下一次又会是什么时候？我还能压制它多久？单凭我自己是没有办法消灭它的。最后这段日子里，我只能带着剑流浪。
Please let her join our party like you're good.
人呢？都出去了吗？
Got him. Ooh, earth attack. Okay. Word up. Probably, Jay. Probably. Ah, okay. So we come back here, and now this door's open. Sweet. I love that the dungeons aren't impossibly long mazes. I love that the fighting is got some nuance to it, but is mostly simplistic and nuanced. Yeah, Turbo. I think you hit the nail on the head, lady. And believe me, we all want to run away from our emotions when they hurt a lot. So what I'd encourage you with is just deal with them as you have the emotional capital to deal with it, right? Like specifically some of the stuff, like when I titled today's videos, those aren't voices in your head. That was taken from today of talking with my therapist, where I said, hey, some of the limiting beliefs or challenges that I face is I'll take an action, and then the night before I go to bed, I do an inventory of all the things that happened for the days. Like, how did I do? How did I perform? And I just get this list of all the fuck-ups I had. Right? And not like some self-deprecation, self-hatred. I mean, just I have an overactive brain that is aware of threats and challenges because, you know, I've had to be in places where not paying attention to those things winds up not getting me, but a lot of other people that I care about potentially hurt or killed. So I always carry that with me. But what I realize is that some of the voices I hear at times aren't me. Meaning, like, the thing that I'm thinking on isn't me trying to advise me to be better. It's an overactive criticism that goes all the way back to my childhood. And so what I was telling my therapist was a lot of these things that I'm hearing, these programs that run in my brain, they're not mine because they're not how I think. They're actually, in some cases, my mother. And she says, good. So remember, those aren't voices, those are recordings. And I was like, yes. Well said. Because me and my mother are two very different people now. She wouldn't be that same person. And so the voice that I'm hearing is a recording that I just never learned how to replace with a better program. Because that nagging, you're a piece of shit and never gonna do this right, kind of, and my mom never said anything like that to me, but when you're overly critical of yourself, it can go there, right? Like, I do not want to paint this picture that my mom was this impossible tyrant, because that's not true. She was very loving and loyal and taught me how to fight, and there's a lot of great, that she's a hero of mine, but there's also pain because she dealt with pain, right? Way worse than I ever had to, so thank God she dialed it down by the time I got here. But those are recordings. So if you go back far enough to a voice that's telling you Turbo's not good enough, first of all, that's not your voice because you wouldn't believe that. You know better. Otherwise, you wouldn't keep getting up trying to play this game the way you do. If you didn't believe there's a chance you can win, we'd all would have quit. We'd all just sit at home and play PlayStation and not try to use it to help people or whatever, right? But you don't. You still try, and you still work, and you still try to make you better so you can be good for your kids and your family and all of that. That is a person who is more than enough, not enough. The problem is your circumstances haven't yet lined up with the positive mindset and actions you've been taking habitually. Well, remember, you walked into the woods for how many years to get to the bad place? It's going to take a couple of them years to completely walk out. So the key here is giving yourself patience and time. You're angry, you're frustrated, you have resentments. Yeah, you've been abused and hurt. How the fuck else are you supposed to feel? So first, get okay with the fact that you feel it. Because it is okay. It's a warning mechanism designed to help you. But don't stay in that energy, or like you said, dwell. Get to the, okay, what are the root causes that I need to face? And which ones of them are things that I can face without creating more pain? That's important. Then face them. Then deal with them. Make amends. Whatever the thing is you got to do to make things right, you do it. And then you steadily get better. And you do that as you have emotional capital to deal with it, right? You still have to work. You still have to take care of kids. You still got things going on. So you can't 24 hours a day be working on you, but have that dedicated time to work on you. But make sure, like you learn if you train in some of the special ops arenas where you hear the term never let a loser leave the battlefield, meaning go into some of those dark places. And I've done directed work with my doctor on this, right? Where I've gone into the depths of everything that's in here, and it's interesting in there, I'll tell you. But you have to be in a place where you can do that, because you're going to face some really dark things. And the key is, when you get to the bottom of the well of everything that you're facing, do you know who the dragon is that you're going to be looking at when you get down there? Answer that for me. When you get to the bottom of the well, do you know the final dragon you're going to face? Because that, milady, is what you are most afraid of. And it's okay that you're afraid of that. We just got to get you to a place where you understand that if you play your cards right, that dragon that you're afraid to go face is actually designed to become one of your greatest allies, not the enemy that's holding you back. More on that on another stream. Yeah, so keep replacing those things with positive experiences and give time to do what time does. You spent, I imagine, over a decade being hurt. It's probably going to take at least a couple of months to walk through that. Give yourself time. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be hurt. It's okay to be resentful. It's not okay to let those things consume you. And it's not okay to let those things create decisions in your life that hurt you or others. That's the key. Be angry and sin not. That's my encouragement to you. I don't know that that's really a whole lot of advice, but hopefully it's a perspective that helps you out. That's at least my prayer for you. You are correct. The dragon, you're going to look in a mirror when you get to the bottom of the well. And you're going to realize the person that's been torturing you is you. That's why I don't play into this cancel culture. You hurt my feelings because you said a word, horseshit. I didn't hurt any of your feelings. You hurt your feelings. Because of what you said what I did meant. Not because of how I intended it. Not you, but people. Right? The bottom of the well is you. The pain that you're facing is you. And you got to get to the bottom of the well. The dragon, and why I say it's the greatest ally, is the dragon is not a bad thing. Right? When the dragon is allowed to operate in its proper environment. The problem is, the dragon that you're going to face is technically not you. You're going to face the dragon, then the mirror. Right? And the fighting of the dragon is the facing you. But once you do that, all that hardship and all that fucking hurt and all those things that beat the shit out of you, they made you have skin like scales. So now all your pain, once you've processed it properly and you've looked at 8-year-old Lynn in the mirror, you've looked at 8-year-old TL in the mirror, and you've told her it's going to be all right, and I'm here and I'm not going to abandon you, and I'm willing to face the dragon that is all of the shields that I tried to create to save me from pain that are now part of my detriment. Once you get down to that little kid and you tell him it's okay the dragon doesn't go away. The dragon goes out and kicks ass on your behalf. Because that strength that you've built for all these years of suffering, the E=mc² of the universe demands that something equal and opposite comes out of the other end of that. That's your strength. Your struggle and your mess become your message. And with that, my friends, I think that's a good place to adjourn. Let's take some last-minute comments, and let's get the hell up out of here. Did you guys have a good show tonight?
谢谢。
Jay says, did it take a lot of trial and error to find a good therapist? Fuck yes. Years.
太傅，
Be encouraged. The good ones are out there,
师兄师姐，
but they can be hard to find.
愿你们魂归尘土，不再受到打扰。
I have found
从西域回
seeking
来的
out
时候，
therapists that
看见大家
specialize in
一直不断
PTSD
隐
was
藏
more helpful for me. Having that
上面千
specialty.
人全数覆
The
灭，
people that...
竟只有我一人独
Let
活。
me let them talk and we'll come back.
魂归尘土，不再受到打扰。人死了以后，是不是就解脱了呢？
不知道。不过，只要活着，就还有希望。
那时我就发誓，定要找出凶手，为你们报仇。我必会肩负起墨学传承，不让它在我手中断绝。西域的葡萄酒殷红如血，是真正的甘脂琼浆，在长安可是千金难求。太傅，莫怪我奢侈。 以此祭奠，上香。
可是，活着的人好像比死的更加难受。
香儿，
你好像很难受的样子。他们都是你所重视的人。
所以，我会继承他们的意志，好好的活下去。谢谢你，香儿。
Oh, wait a minute. I gotta go to a shrine to do that. Oh, they over here hugging. They're not gonna let me shrine it up while they hugging. Wrong button.
子旭，你说的机关在哪儿呢？
有劳了。
不会。
如何？
这种手法，恐怕不是出自我们这一支的墨者。
啊？这其中还有讲究？
小时候在大寨看过，太傅有收藏一些古墨者的机关残骸，其中便有类似这样的结构。
那有办法修吗？
恐怕不行，我不清楚里头的结构。如果有类似的东西对照，应该就可以复原了。只是大寨这些年遭贼，古墨者的机关残骸也都不翼而飞了。
是何号？
我记得他说， 他的宝贝都会卖到玉水。
看他那反应，应该是卖给夏老丈了。或许可以问问。
真的？那我们就到玉水去。走。
哎，这样会不会太麻烦红儿了？
子旭，你助我杀了大妖，与我师门有大恩。以后千万别再说这些见外的话了，好吗？
好，多谢。
我们走吧。
Reunion, and I
都要
leveled
去
up,
玉水
son.，
从这儿下山更快。
It's like a lot of walk-around directed cutscenes here. Let's see what's up with this.
从未想过，红儿你竟是墨者，真是深藏不露。
So I'm trying to get to the next campfire so I can save the game
多
and
半
then
隐姓埋名，
bid you all a good night.
加上机关术的禁令，
Hey, what's
如
going
今
on
墨
here?
者大概都是以医者身份行走的。
Oh, we were doing that regardless.
世上其实不仅
Interesting.
上山墨家，
All right, how
是
about
啊，墨者未必擒获，各自离散。后来发展出好几支的传承，商墨只是其一。
文书将军很受玉水的百姓欢迎呢。
如今世道混乱，能够保全百姓者，自然就是人心所向。你们见过？
曾有数面之缘，和刘家两位将军一同击退了妖魔。不过近来绿林军声势壮大，李军也开始追击他们了。
chickens? All right, back in town, baby. Back in town. We did it. Is this the closest damn shrine to this place? There's got to be another one somewhere. Oh, that's the one across the bridge, you gaggle of Tidarian whores! Woo, that frame rate gets real challenged when we get to this water scene. Dang, it's like playing online almost. Like that bad. Like with a computer that is lagging its ass off, yo. Alright, campfire time. Let's save it up.
红姐姐，西域究竟是怎样的地方？
西域漫天沙海，一望无际，让人觉得自身渺小。人们在寥寥无几的绿洲旁建起城市，沙漠能够栽植极为美味的瓜果，有壮丽的美景，却也时时刻刻潜藏危机，夺人性命。
那西域和商山哪里比较美丽呢？
Which is better?
是没办法比较的，两个完全不同的地方，各有美丽之处。
我从小到大都没离开过隐地山，要是哪天能到西域去，该有多好！
仙儿要想周游列国的话，只要等它恢复了，自然没有问题。
好呀，这可是你说的。
All right. So Turbo says I now have those recordings. I wanted to replace them with positive ones. Yeah. So a lot of the practical work there with my whole dragon silly metaphor is really just being willing to discover what is the thing in me that I need to heal that's at the root of the pain. And then just doing the work to do it when you have the emotional capital. And then, yeah, replacing that thought in your head with, wait a minute, what is the actual truth? And am I over-assessing the situation negatively because I'm afraid that I'm not enough for whatever thing I need to face? So I'm going to be overly hard on myself. It just doesn't work. You know, so having internal voices that build you up is very, very important, which is why I say it's very important what you all spend a lot of your time listening to and watching. You know? So, not that I need to tell TurboLin any of that. Nothing. I don't believe anything I'm saying to you is stuff you don't know. I'm certainly not trying to insult your intelligence. I hope that's coming across that way. Yeah, just it sounds like patience and a little bit of love with yourself, and just giving yourself time to be okay with the fact that you're hurting, and it may take you a little bit of time to get through it. Let's see. Jolly says, hit me up on Signal about how you want to do act. Yeah, I'll figure it out. It's not a priority right now, so I just was letting you know about it. I'll figure it out. I may not even keep doing it. I'm going to throw up a couple videos, see what they do, see what TikTok does with them to test the waters. I have a hunch about what I'm doing on my channel, and a part of me has a hunch that something at TikTok that I was told over a year ago when I was having meetings with them has changed. And I haven't had many more meetings with them since earlier this year to really discuss it, because the plan was, was for us to start to sunset it anyway. But I am running the test now just to either prove or disprove my hunch. But I'll figure it out. We'll get there. It just, for now, just know it's not really a huge priority. The bigger priority, honestly, is what I said about the YouTube clips are the most probably important thing out of the clips that we'll be doing. For the shorts and for the 1 to 5 minute clips when you think I've said something that's profound or valuable enough to share with other people. And then we'll get the SEO and the stuff together to make sure that people can find what we're talking about and go from there. Hey, this was a great show. Well, thank you. TurboLin says referrals help. Yes, they do. Jolly says, also B, are you for or against doing a sit down and talk stream without gaming maybe once a week? I'm ambivalent. I'm not for it. I'm not against it. I'm not against it. Let me say that. I probably am not going to do it for... it's something I've considered, like, hey, should I start doing some shows where it's just me? I've done that long enough to where I don't know. I'm certainly not against it if there's value to be gained from it that's somehow not what we're getting out of this. But like committing to doing it once a week, I won't do that. Not right now. I got too many other things going on. Like, I'm trying to keep this as kind of a hobby passion project that hopefully helps a couple of people. And if it does, then it wins. If it turns into what I think it has the potential to turn into, then we'll start talking about formats and, different shows. But something like that, if I was doing it, I probably wouldn't do it more than once a month. I think once a week would start to be overkill for me. Because remember, part of the reason why I have the games in here is selfish. It's to give me something to do while I'm waiting for all of you to come up with what you want to talk about. So... like, I learned that from TikTok. It was like, all right, I need to give myself something to do on these streams because people may come here and just want to veg out. They don't want to talk or have discussion. So I need something to keep my attention so I'm not just sitting here looking at a camera and talking into the ether or babbling. So I'm not against it. I just right now don't see the utility in it. That makes it a necessity. And it's just, even if it was a necessity right now, it's not something I'm willing to commit to. Let's see, Turbo said, B, someone said PTSD around me, and I was really surprised. Why were you surprised by that? Are you still learning Japanese? No, not right now. I put that on the shelf for a lot of the other things I have going on. I had some free time the day I did that, so I studied it for a couple hours just to see, this is something I do eventually want to learn. But I haven't really gone much deeper than that. It's just like what I was doing that for, the plan changed, so... it's just not a priority right now. Jay says, do you watch any animes? I'm asking based off some of the games you play. Not really. There's a handful of animes that I really love, but I wouldn't call myself a fan of the genre. Most anime is like nails on a chalkboard to me. I love Samurai Champloo. I think it's one of the best pieces of art, period. I think it transcends medium. I think what they did with Samurai Champloo, interestingly enough, I think the reason I'm attracted to it is similar to why I make shows like Game Therapy. It combined so many different things into an amalgam or a Champloo, which is what Champloo means. And I love that. You just don't get that kind, like the mashup between Edo period Japan, hip hop, and then American and Japanese cultures and European culture, and then dealing with historically some of the bruises that came from those relationships. That show's heavy, man. It deals with a lot of shit. That's really cool. I love Samurai Champloo. I didn't love Cowboy Bebop as much, but my buddy that ran the anime store that got me to watch the show told me the reason why I didn't love Cowboy Bebop is I watched Samurai Champloo first, and since it was made by the same people, Samurai Champloo was basically a better Cowboy Bebop. So I don't hate Cowboy Bebop, it's fine. It just wasn't as awesome as Champloo to me. What else? I loved Fruits Basket. I never finished it, though. Death Note was alright. I just caught my kids watching that downstairs and told them to turn it off. Like, if you don't watch something positive before bed, be all depressed and sad and shit. Put good things in your head before you go to sleep, silly. Who have you been living with for the last couple of years? So no, the answer is I don't really watch anime. There have been a couple that have come out that I really enjoyed. And that's it. Like, most of it's just kind of obviously cartoons made to sell kids' toys. Like Bleach, Naruto, Dragon Ball Z. That's all just, it's just Transformers and G.I. Joe on crack. Which means they're going to pad everything out just to sell the toys. And I'm not 8 anymore, so I'm not interested in parochial-ass stories that aren't that interesting. And frankly, I'm never really interested in the story more than I am interested in the moral of the story. So if it takes you 26 episodes to tell the fucking moral of the story, I'm usually want to be out. Unless it's just the whole show is one season of 26 episodes, Samurai Champloo. Then I can usually deal with it. But I can't do 9 seasons of 40 episodes of anything. Unless it's like Star Trek where each episode is self-contained. But like a story arc that takes you 40 hours to talk about, I'm not that guy. Tell me your story and hurry up and get it the fuck over with. And stick to the interesting parts. Because I think I'm just... I think that... anyway, doesn't matter. That wasn't your question. He says, I scream chickens when I see a Popeyes box, too. Let's see, speaking of naked, this will be a fine comment. There is this game I learned of that you might like. I will share it with you when I see you again. Okay, cool. Turbo says, I don't feel insulted. Well, good. I'm glad for that. I definitely don't want you to feel that way. Because I would certainly not intend to ever do that to you. Jolly says, sit down stream would be like an hour and it would cover Warrior Monday because there may be something that someone brings up you would like to be more profound about as opposed to a few sentences reply. Well, so what you're talking about I would still just do on this show. I have no problem hijacking a video game to talk for 30 minutes and y'all can just look at the moon and the stars. Here you go. Blam. Watch the moon set. And then we'll, you know what I mean? So, like, for what you're talking about, I can still pull that off, and I have. I mean, go back and watch the Alien Isolation video. That was a 28-minute answer to a question of me looking at a wall in the game. Like, fuck it. At least that was the value proposition I was thinking of before. Yeah, so I would just say what you're trying to accomplish, I can do with or without gameplay. Are you saying to me that the gameplay is distracting to you in a way where you would rather just have to talk? If that's what you're getting at, then noted. Turbo says, I was surprised because the trauma was slow and methodical, and when my eyes were open, that's when I was like, what? So associated PTSD with events or repeated intense stuff. Looking back now, I can see it for sure. You know, and I touched on it earlier about the personality types that are likely to develop PTSD. If you guys want to know what that is, it's people who are naive. For a lot of years, that was me. In a lot of ways, I still am. I still wrongly tend to see the best in people. It's a flaw in my character. And I desperately want to help them. I desperately want to help everybody, even people that don't want my help. So I've learned over the years to just leave everybody alone and let everyone suffer how they see fit. like for a kind of bright-eyed and bushy-tailed kid who kind of sees everything as positive and everybody's trying to do the right thing, you're a poster child candidate for PTSD. Because when you realize that the world's actually brutal and most of it doesn't give a singular fuck about you. You know, I tell that story of watching a guy die, looking him in the eyes. That shit, that'll make you ask some questions. It's not that watching him die was so fucking traumatic. It made you question, am I even a good person anymore? Because I was taught my whole existence as a child, good people don't do what me and him are up to. You know? So, if you have a personality it's a personality that's very easy to hurt, you know? So you have to, you know, war was kind of a necessary evil, I think, for me to see what the world was really like. Even though I had already seen it before war. I had seen war before combat. Hell, my apartment complex got shot up my second or last year before I left school to go be a soldier. You know, so anyway, it's just like, how could people do this? I thought we were all trying to win. Apparently we define winning differently. Jolly says, also in order, Samurai Champloo and Cowboy Bebop take place in the same universe. Oh, I didn't know that. That's good to know. Along with Carol and Tuesday and Space Dandy. It's one. Oh, I've never heard of that other stuff, but I will take your word for it. And that's cool. I never knew that. How dope is that? Now I want to go back and watch Cowboy Bebop. Yes, I'm a big fan. I looked it all up. Cool, man. That's dope. I know that's really interesting to me. I never knew that, and I'm pretty into Samurai Champloo. The fact that I never came across that is weird to me. Yeah, true. I was thinking of those that don't come for the game. I'm for either or. I'm just Yeah. No, there's no bad ideas in brainstorming, man. I appreciate your feedback. And yeah, like, I'm kind of at the place where, because I don't need to be doing this for some existential reason, I'm just doing it for the fun of it and for the people who would enjoy it. Frankly, like, the person who can't be bothered to come hang out because there's a game on screen, I mean, does that strike you as the person I'm really going to invest a whole lot of time in? But if you're that, like, because to me, and maybe I'm wrong, but I just see that human as inflexible. Like, the show isn't in a format that you like, but the show is presenting, if the show is presenting something of great value to you that you really want, you'll figure out how to get past your bias, is kind of that's where my sympathy runs out. Like, I have tons of empathy for people, but I'm like, if this show is beneficial to you, you'll figure out a way to make it viewable, right? Like, trying to change it and acquiesce it to the three people, like, I wish you didn't have games on. Well, there's 19,000 other people doing a show like this. I'm sure they'd like your subscribe. So yeah, no, keep throwing ideas at me, Jolly. Like I said, I'm never on this show trying to argue with you guys. I'm trying to interrogate the truth. So when you say something, I'll hit it from other perspectives, not to argue, but so that once we make a decision, we've got a comprehensive look at the whole. So people are like, you're trying to play devil's advocate, in a way, but not to disagree with you, so that we can have a holistic perspective of what we're talking about before we start making decisions. Because that's what leads to bad things happening, is when we make decisions prematurely without all the information. So I know it comes across as arguing. I always want to say that because people have taken issue with me. I'm like, dude, I'm never arguing because I don't think I'm right. So just kill that shit. I'm just adding perspective. But anyway, to your point, it's good feedback, because you're probably right. There are people who've told me, oh, dude, I don't really do the gaming shit. But when they tell me that, it's like, well, then, yeah, that's not what we're doing. So that person's just telling me I've got to hang up. That's probably not going to let them connect with the show anyway. So go consume this shit. Go watch Jordan Peterson. His shit's better than mine. Shit, I watch his shit. We'll watch it together. Shit. How do we motivate those people to do their jobs? Can we start Hypnotizing the masses. We already hypnotize the masses. It's television and social media. It's complete psychological warfare. It's why I tell most of you, if you do not have a business reason to be on these fucking platforms, get the fuck off of them. Have I not said that enough? Get out. Get out. Leave. Like, yeah, you could totally hypnotize people. It's called social media. And you can control what they think and believe, too. And get them to fight with each other, because conflict is apparently how they think productivity is built. So let's create two polar opposite things that people can yell about forever. And it somehow tricks less educated, I think, animals into being productive. Instead, why don't we just be productive? We don't have to fight about it. Like, I can be productive without hating fucking whatever group you belong to. I don't need to hate you to be good at my shit. But unfortunately, like, if you look at how political rallies are, half the time it's shitting on the, like, if we let these other people do it, the evil ones that you're not hanging out with, like, that sounds a whole lot like people who run a fucking cult. Not people who should be leading a country. And by the way, I'm not blaming the leaders, I'm blaming y'all, because they're doing that shit because we're dumb, not because they are. All right. I don't know if that's true. That's just my observation from working in politics. I have no idea if that's true. It's just, when I was there, that's the shit I saw. Maybe somebody else saw something different. All right, Jolly says Samurai Champloo equals rap and hip hop, Cowboy Bebop is jazz and blues, Carol and Tuesdays R&B and soul, and finally Space Dandies. Okay, so it's got kind of a musical theme to it. Very cool. Please watch Carol and Tuesday. You will love it, and you may cry. You'll have to remind me. I won't even remember the name of it, but somewhere between now and 2051, I'm sure I'll watch it. I'd take a long time to watch shit. How long is it? Like, my friends have been trying to get me to watch Mandalorian for like a year. I think I'm 3 episodes in, and I'm kind of like, I could keep watching this, and if I didn't, like, and that's not a hit against the show. I think what I've seen was great. I just also don't have great motivation to keep showing up. Like, for whatever reason, that show and a lot of other shows don't hook me like the shows that hook me do. But I watched it. I really enjoyed it. I was like, I get why everybody loves this. This is probably the best Star Wars thing I've seen since Return of the Jedi. And yes, Rogue One, the only reason you freaking Star Wars nerds liked it is because it wasn't as fucking terrible as the other ones. It's not great. It's boring as shit. And too fucking long until the ending when it gets great. But fuck that movie. And everybody, it's the greatest, and it's not. It's just all the other ones are so fucking bad it makes this one look good. Sorry. I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan anymore. Josh says, I have to get going. I stayed up late long enough. Good night, everybody. Good night, man. 1 season, 24 episodes. Doable. That I think I can handle if it's good. All right. Well, and the thing I like about anime is the shows are usually like 18 minutes long. So it's like, all right, they're gonna make the point and shut up and let me get out of here. Thank you. I could just sit here and listen to this music and sip tea, but I won't. I will get out of here so y'all can sleep peacefully. Thank you so much for being here, gang. Thanks for asking great questions, and thanks for sharing a slice of your life with us. And everything you guys share, whether it's happy or it's sad or it's a problem, it's all positive, right? Never get into the mindset of, I don't want to share, at least not here, because I don't want to burden people. Brothers and friends, you ever heard the ancient proverb that brothers are born for adversity? And now you can replace brothers with sisters or whatever term you like. But this idea of brothers or friends being born for adversity, which means all of your friendships are predicated on adversity. And it's the adversity you're collaborating to overcome. So by coming here and sharing, you're making us all stronger, and you're letting us help you tap into your own strength. All right, so when you guys are going through hard stuff, don't worry about coming here and making people sad. It's the job of this show to help you get to a place where you're not sad. And I'll do as many characters and sunglassed, arrogant, elitist pricks as I have to do in this crazy stage play to get you guys to laugh and smile. All right, I love you guys. We are stronger than I. Back at it, manana.